Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of the Action Toon Brothers. I'm Ben Sturgeon.
I'm Matthew Lewis.
And today's a special day because, well, it's that time of cast again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say year, but this is now doing the season 3 finale. So, we have two wonderful guests with us today. First off, you probably know him from the season 2 finale, the guy who was right, Ed Bobbinchek.
That's right, I was right. I was also on the season 1 finale. I'm just like the finale guy here. I also like podcast Viagra, because every time I'm on, things get longer.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
And also with us,
I'm going to edit that. I'll lie and say I'm going to edit that out like the last time.
You're right.
I'm just going to edit everything.
Also with us is, I can't think of anything clever because he knows a lot about Korra as well, Chris Bowe.
I mean, that's okay. I can't think of anything clever either. So, I was here for the last season finale, right?
Yeah, you were here for the season 2
yeah.
finale.
Okay, well, good to be back. Hello.
And now, with all that, since now we're starting this off, let's start with episode 10, Long Live the Queen. So, we get Shiro talking about how the Red Lotus is now the newest threat. And Korra learns from Zahir in the spirit world that their plan is to kill all the world leaders. You know, anarchy for kids.
You son of a jerk.
What?
Are we swearing? We can swear, right?
We already swore a little bit. So
Okay,
yeah, we
you
already
son
swore.
of a bitch. I have literally written in my notes something terrible for kids multiple times. You stole that joke from me.
You guys all got that
I
wrong.
got
Nostalgia
here's
critic.
proof.
Well,
Everybody, here's my proof.
Well,
Because
Another
everybody can
we
look
all
at
see
that.
it, yeah. you
Visual
guys see
jokes
that?
in an audio podcast.
Yeah, Ben, make sure you get a good picture of that for the podcast. All right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll put it as the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, technically, I got that from Nostalgia Critic, but that's beside the point. So, after all of that finding out and stuff, Korra and Sami get caught by the Earth Kingdom forces.
Earth Queen forces.
Earth Queen forces. You're right.
She's barely united with the kingdom.
Yeah, which, before she could have warned anyone, because we all love the Queen, hail the Queen.
Gosh, that queen was a fucking bitch.
Yeah, she's awful. But
However, on the
she ate Bosco. Damn, oh, God.
Right?
I feel like that doesn't get mentioned enough. She ate Bosco.
Yeah, she ate
Possibly.
Bosco.
There was a rumor.
But on a positive note, Bolin and Mako got caught by the Red Lotus.
Yeah.
Did I say positive? No, I meant that was a negative note. But now both parties are heading for Ba Sing Se.
Yo.
And thus we start the episode off.
Yep, opens on the Earth Queen's forces wheeling Hannibal Lecter style Korra.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I thought that was crazy. I mean, obviously it's Korra. She's really strong and all that stuff. They literally had to straight jacket, pin her down like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, her mouth barred up because of course she breathes fire all the time. She tries to warn them of the Red Lotus, but the captain is just like, "Oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about." That captain's gonna be a very prominent character. I don't think he ever gets a real name though.
Oh, by the way, that fort they're leaving. You want to know what the name of the fort is?
Is that Fort Bosco?
Fort Bosco.
Yeah. They mentioned that later. Yeah. I was like, God.
Poor bear. But anyway, so as they're all going away, Asami's chained up and everything like that.
Yeah.
Korra's like, wait, you can't do this because I met Zahir, one of the Red Lotus members in the spirit world. He's insane.
Yeah, and the captain's like doesn't believe her and they continue to put her on the ship. Asami's being tied to the ground, but she's like flirtatiously asking her like, "Oh, come on, you're not gonna do that. Tie me to the ground. Tie me to that pole over there." And it's like, "Oh, sure."
Oh, fine, whatever.
And then Korra's like, "Can I get some water?" He's like, "No."
No, I'm not gonna give you elements. I mean, you have air, but we can't really do anything about that. So
I mean, you kind of can.
Yeah,
Some
right?
people can do
What's it
things
called?
about
Also,
that.
even besides whatever dirty thought Ed's leaning to, there's
No,
also the
I
whole.
I was gonna say stealing.
He's foreshadowing.
Also, the sweat that Toph and Katara used to escape that wood prison in the original series.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though,
yes.
Roll. Korra really can't do that.
Yeah, she can't roll.
Yeah,
Oh,
her
yeah.
hands
move.
are tied, literally.
Yeah. But after that, we see she worries about Bolin and Mako, saying, "I wonder if they're okay. Hopefully they got away." When it comes to them being driven by the Red Lotus.
I kind of like this scene because Mako's like, "Oh, you're gonna be so sorry with this," and Bolin's just making friends.
Yeah, Bolin's being a great dude.
And I like it also because Gazan is the same way. He's
Gazan
just
is great.
wanting to make. He
He's
wants
so
to be friends.
Great. Yeah, like Bolin's like trying to guess things about him. Like, let me see, you got your mustache when you were 10.
Yeah, you were raised by your sisters, and just gonna point this out. there's like an unknown attraction between you two.
Gazan and Ming-Hua.
And Ming-Hua. And of course,
Aw.
Gazan just like, they both look at each other, and Gazan's just like, 2 out of 3, not bad. I'm like,
No, you
uh-oh.
forgot to mention that it was Ming-Hua who was like, yeah, that's right. Because they asked, like,
Oh,
what do you
yeah.
do in prison? And she's like, I just make up fun stories about the guards.
You know,
Oh, yeah, he's like, I just stared at the sky.
who's a
Those-
pastry chef? That's right. That was
Yeah.
one of the
That was
better
amazing.
scenes.
All right, real quick, I want to get everyone's thought on this.
Okay.
What did you think the wrong one of what Bolin guessed?
I'm assuming it's the mustache one.
That actually, honestly, I think it's the sister one.
I agree. I think it's the sister.
Yeah, I think it was the Raised by Sisters.
Maybe
What about
that-
you?
Okay, wait, hang on. So I was dumb and only refreshed myself on the last 3 episodes of the season, not all 4. So I missed one.
The 3 things that Bolin guessed that Gazan was said 2 of the 3 were correct. Were Gazan was raised by his sister, by an older sister. Gazan grew his mustache. It came in when he was 10 years old, and there's an unknown attraction between Ming-Hua and Gazan.
Unspoken.
Unspoken. Thank you. Unspoken.
Okay. Then
Which one do you think is the wrong one?
the one that was wrong, I think, was also the sister.
The sister.
That's funny. Oh, a 2 or 3 against me here, but they're all wrong, of course.
Although I'm remembering that scene now. Like, didn't Gazan and Ming-Hua actually look at each other when he was
Oh,
saying
Yeah,
that?
like
Yeah.
when he mentioned the last one, they both like kind of looked at each other like.
yeah, they're
Okay,
kind of
I don't remember
different.
their exact facial expressions, but I think that would be a really big teller of which one, whether the attraction was correct or not.
Ming-Hua had like the kind of tsundere like kind of thing,
Yeah.
but Gazan was just like, oh crap, like he had like the wide eyes like uh-oh.
Those 2 are great.
You could also argue that they really didn't have as much a connection as Plea and
Well,
Zahir.
Plea and Zahir are
Well,
literally
yeah.
like actively in a relationship. So.
I mean, yeah, but like, it was weird. Is it, real quick, is it Gaizan or
Gazan,
Gazan?
it's Gazan.
Gazan. It's
Gazan.
It's 2 A's, so yeah, Gazan.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they
Who's
rarely ever
Gazan?
speak. They rarely ever speak his verbally speak his name in the show, which I thought was weird. Like for the longest time, I had no idea what his name was, and then like I was rewatching. I think it was the second to last episode, and they actually said his name for what what I want to say is the first
Yeah,
time, but I have no idea.
They always say it once in a while.
Actually, to be honest, the only name that's prominent is Zahir. They don't ever say please name that many times,
Yeah.
or Ming-Hua or Gazan.
Yeah, they don't say any of their names too often, but like you have to either look them up or like I think maybe once in a while they'll say like, "Hey, Gazan, what are you doing?"
Right.
I don't think they say his name for like a while, but I think
Seriously.
also they mention them when Zuko first goes to make sure that Plea doesn't get free. He mentions Gazan and Ming-Hua
Yep.
with Zahir and stuff like that. But like,
Okay.
that's very rare that they actually mention their names.
Gotcha.
But by the time we got done with this conversation, they made it to the Earth Kingdom of Ba Sing Se, and of course Zahir's just like gag him.
Oh wait, no, not yet. We cut to Asami talking about how the shoddy Cabbage Corp craftsmanship on these airships.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
she manages to break off a pipe and pulls up the floor, and like she's unable to free Korra, so she's like, "I'm gonna go under here. We're gonna form a
Yeah,
plan."
in 5 minutes, if I don't come back, just yell for the
Well,
guards.
it was just straight up 5 minutes. Call.
Oh, that's right. It was
Call
in
for
5
help.
minutes. Just call for help.
Yep, and this is when we cut to the Earth Queen's palace, and she awaits Korra. We learn that the ship just left Fort Bosco, the bear, of course, and will be in Ba Sing Se very soon. This is when Zahir and gang arrive.
Yeah, I actually arrived
And
in.
claim to know where the airbenders are. Admiral Secretary Gunn, that weird little guy who comes up a couple of times, is like, "Oh, hey, there's some people saying they know where the airbenders are."
And of course, at first the queen's like, "I don't talk with bounty hunters." And he's like, "But since they know this,
And they
okay."
have another present. They bring Mako and Bolin.
Yep. And of course she's like, "So what? Are you trying to raise your price?" They're like, "No. These are a gift for you actually wanting to talk to us. Where's my airbenders?" "Well, first, where's the avatar?" And they kind of coerce her into making sure that
Yeah.
they get the avatar.
She agrees, and the Red Lotus are taken to a room while the brothers are taken to a dungeon.
I mean, she got easily manipulated because she's
I think she's
super
planning on
dumb.
lying them. She doesn't have
Well,
Korra,
right, yeah.
but she's not hinting at that yet.
Yeah, she's done it before in the past where she
She's
just lies.
also pretty dumb. Like I feel like she's manipulative. She's terrible. She's also pretty dumb.
She's relying
Yeah,
on the gun
you're right.
Who, the Earth Queen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She-
yes.
She is an idiot, but she can also like manipulate people. Then again, being like the despot that she is, I guess you can kind of get away with it.
I hate her.
Yeah, right.
She also holds like one of the most powerful positions in all
Yeah,
of
one of the most lands in the
Avatar
entire
lands,
series,
so-
yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
This is when Korra, back with the ship, distracts the guard, and Asami knocks him out with the keys, with the classic, "Oh, the prisoner's sick," and so they free
Yep.
Korra, and they begin to do some damage. They get to the shore, to the top of the ship, they immediately, throw the guy against the controls and beat up the captain.
Not they.
Oh, Korra.
Okay, Korra does.
Of course.
But before all that happens, the captain actually does get through the bossing saying, "Hey, we're under attack.
Yeah, we're
Please
going
find us
down.
in this
We're in the
location."
desert. Help us.
And even Asami's like, Korra, you might have went a little too far. You broke the radio and the controls.
Yep.
Korra being Korra, just, you
Korra,
know.
she's
And,
rough,
even,
right?
and Korra has a good point. It's not her fault that Cabbage Corps airships are made crappy.
Yeah,
Yep.
but she also, like, threw them at the
Yeah,
controls.
right.
At the thing. Like, she just went head on and didn't even think about what she was doing, because it's Korra.
Yeah, of course.
I love her. She's awesome, but
But
it's
she's very
still Korra.
destructive, and that's
Oh,
her
very,
nature.
very indeed.
Yep, Korra isn't having any of that. Asami wants to fix the ship, but just then, something, what is it? They got hit by something, they start falling from the sky.
The controls were down and stuff, so they had to make a crash landing, and they hit a dune.
Yeah, and this is when we come back to the prison with the brothers. They want to find a way out. Another prisoner, like a crazy old man, is just like, "Hey, I want out too. Help me!"
Help me get to my wife and 5 kids.
Yeah, this is when Bolin. They say, "Bolin, metal band," and everyone's like, "Yeah, Bolin, you can do it." Everyone's cheering him. Yeah, Bolin.
And Bulin's like,
"Ah."
I can't.
He's
and
trying,
he can't.
and he cannot still.
Yeah, he still can't
The
after
guy
that
was
event.
also fun because as a parent myself, when he's like, I had 5 kids. It was great the first few months. I actually got sleep, everything, tied to myself.
Right.
It's like, yeah, that's pretty true.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
That sounds so wonderful. Sleep, tied to myself. But then it is true. You do miss it after a while.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that was a really funny scene. But this is when Lin, driving a jeep to the Oasis, finds the gang's cars and Naga and Pabu.
Yeah, I like it because like Naga was like,
Yeah, like jumps
you, I
her
press it
again,
and you want to
jumps
just lick my face. Here, chew my knees and shut up.
This is when she radios Tonrock and says, "This is where we're meeting up. Stay, come meet me here."
Oh, yeah, and it was
Misty-
at the Misty Oasis, Misty Palm
Spring.
Oasis.
Yes.
Yeah, yep. This is when Korra and Asami are trying to get the now crashed ship back into order.
Which I think is hilarious because they're like, hey, we need to get out of this desert, and the captain's just like, no, we're staying here. We're not going to do anything.
Yeah,
We
right.
don't trust you.
I called for backup. They're going to be here soon, and everyone's like, "Well, that's not good," because then they see a dune moving in the background. Oh no!
What are you talking about? It's a mirage. The desert will play tricks on you.
Yeah.
Then we
it's
find
not
out
good.
it's like a giant
I wrote
sand
Cephadrome.
shark. Yeah,
I got Cephadrome. A Monster Hunter
worse than what
Cephadrome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
Worse.
looks like.
It looks like a big giant sand shark, exactly like that in Monster
It's more
Hunter.
like a
It's actually
tiger
shark shark.
Zamtrios.
Yeah.
I'd say more of a
Oh, yeah,
tiger
yeah,
Zamtrios.
Zamtrios, yeah. you're
That's
right.
a good one too.
Except for it's like a
It's built like an actual because it doesn't have arms. It has like just fins.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
has like the fins on it, and then everyone's like, "So you wanna see if we can fix the ship, or do you want to wait and meet that guy?"
Yep.
Captain's
and
just like,
this
"Okay,
one-
fine."
Yeah, Sami begins to try. It's like, okay, well, the ship's. Oh, that's their plan. They're unable. The thing bites the ship in half and breaks it.
Like they gotta get it working.
Yeah, they're
now.
like, oh, it's working, it's going, it's working. And then just bam, the Cephadrome knocks it out of the sky. And they're like, or the tiger Zamtrios. And then they're just like, okay, we'll make a sand sailor like sandbenders use. That's what the trick was going to be. And that's the new plan.
Meanwhile, back at the Earth Kingdom, the Red Lotus are sitting in wait.
I would say there's a shot. That's a really cool shot that I wanted to use for the it's this plea with like a drink and then like everyone just sitting around all coolly in the room. I was like, that's a really cool shot.
But
and
you
then-
gotta mention, because I wrote this in my notes, so I'm gonna
What's
mention
up?
this, where they're like, man, we gotta wait around for this thing to pick us off one by one. And I'm like, wait a minute. Pick off one by one. This thing is massive.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
giant.
yeah.
It's tiny. You're gonna eat it as a group. Like, let's be fair.
He's got to eat you all at once, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
This is not the thing or something. It's a giant sand shark that's swimming through a desert. It's
Of
just gonna
course.
eat you all. It literally chomped the entire ship in like one gulp almost.
I've seen some
Except for the
terrible
front
things.
and the back end, because you get a good shot of the driver like just they're like
Yeah, it's terrifying. That was amazing. But in the palace, after that really cool shot, we see Zahir, Dai the agent, follow and run through the palace entrance, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna follow that
Yeah,
guy."
I want to follow that dude. And then, of course, he listens in and finds out, well, that Korra is stranded in the desert. But they already have another ship on the way. So, as Zahir hears this, it's like, so what are we gonna do?
Yeah, goes back to the group and says, "All right, new plan. We're not gonna wait around here. Time
Okay,
to
we're
wait is
not
over."
gonna wait. We're not
Burst
gonna
in.
even try to find her because even in the desert, we're not gonna have good luck.
Yeah.
Time for her to come to us.
They burst into the queen's throne room and tell the queen, "Korra isn't coming, is she?" She denies it and threatens them all, like, "Oh, where are the airbenders? Tell me." The Dai Li surround the Red Lotus. They easily take out the Dai Li.
And then
super easy.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Dai Li were never that impressive.
Gun-
but they're
gun-
cool airbenders. That's what they are.
Gun, the only smart person,
Secretary
does the smart
Gun
thing and
runs.
runs away.
Oh, yeah.
And
this is
then-
when Zahir tells her
Oh, Lord.
he doesn't believe in queens, and then does what we always thought airbenders are capable of.
It uses her own air
to
from her own body
and
vacuums literally all the air out of her.
Yeah.
And she dies.
Absolutely.
Guys, like she's dead.
It was a brutal killing.
It was crazy.
4 kids.
Yeah.
There, see?
Exactly. It was insanely cool.
But yeah, it's just like, oh my goodness, like when I saw that, I knew this series was gonna get like heavy.
Yeah.
But then that happened. I'm like, look, we already have blood bending. We don't need air bending air out of
your
people.
lungs.
No, guys. There's no blood. There was no gore, so it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine for kids. Like kids just know that. Oh, we were just taking a nap, you know.
Yeah.
just have the air literally sucked out of your lungs. It's fine.
Well, okay. Well, then how about this? Immediately after that happens, Zahir's like, "Hey, you, radio man.
Yeah.
I need to make a message." And he tells the entire world of Ba Sing Se that
the entire world of Ba Sing Se.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. They do think it's the entire world. It is the Earth Kingdom after all.
I mean, Ba Sing Se is also its own
Huge.
massive
seriously
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like
That's true. Yeah.
He broadcast that he's murdered the queen, and now it's time for revolution.
and that's when Gazan just was like.
The coolest, the coolest
So
thing
here's
in the
like
goddamn
Mr.
world.
Gazan tears out this wall.
Yeah, he brings down the unbendable walls of Ba Sing Se.
Oh no!
That's how dope lava bending is. He brings
Yes,
down
it is.
the unbreakable wall of Ba Sing Se single-handedly. He demolishes it.
I mean, to be fair, Ira also blew a massive hole in the wall.
Yeah, and so
on the
did
day
that
of
weird
Black Sun.
sex drill that Azula had.
No, but like, we all agree that those 4 are fucking overpowered as fuck, right?
Yeah, they're
Oh, yeah,
insanely
definitely.
good. I love them all. They're all great.
Like, I feel like too, like you get Ming Hua's not even talked. I mean, again,
In the episode, we thought, she's really, really good.
If
when
you
she
think
kicks out
about it,
those
like
people.
again, she's psychic water bending as well.
I think
Like
so, yeah.
obviously,
Pretty much.
lava bending is powerful. Pli has whatever that ability is.
That's
Zahir
bending.
just on the same day he got air bending is now a master apparently. But
course.
Pli is able to literally just like
Ming
psychic
Hua,
water
yeah.
bending. Ming Hua.
Yeah.
Psychic water bending. Like that's not nothing. Like
That's incredible.
psychic water bending is ridiculous.
Each of these people are amazing in their own merit. Actually, as much as I love water bending, I actually have to say that Ming Hua is my favorite because she literally has no arms and she just uses water bending with her mind to make arms.
I was gonna say I love Pli, just not besides the fact that she has a dope undercut and is huge. She can also explode around corners.
She's amazingly like. That's another thing.
we talked about that,
She's
yeah.
massive. Like,
Dude, yeah, she's like Amazonian tall.
Yeah,
Yes.
but also the fact that her Sparky Boom thing can go around corners. She does it a
Yes.
bunch. She
I
did it
noticed
a bunch
that,
in the
yeah.
episode when they kidnapped Korra. She did it several times, like around corners. And I was like,
I
holy
noticed that,
shit.
yeah.
It's insane.
Like it can't turn on a dime, but it does turn corners.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like, I wonder if like that your size or something is a factor in that because Sparky Boom Man was also really big.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like where they come from, or whatnot, like where they
I
get that
love to
ability.
It could also be like kind of like with airbending or any bending. She just kept practicing more and more with it until she was able to master it a little bit more.
I don't know.
We don't know.
It could
Because
be
what bending
especially-
doesn't seem like something just
That's
anyone
a
can
genetic
do.
thing.
There's
right.
there's special requirements for that. Yeah.
Same with lava bending. I'm pretty sure you need to have
Oh,
at
yeah.
least one firebending person in your family, I'm sure, to be able to do that.
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah.
it's not a coincidence.
But yeah, so
Mako blows the torches and the
yeah,
doors.
he's trying to blow towards the way
yeah,
out.
like with his
It's
fingers
like,
really cool.
come on, Mako, you can do it. This is your time. You said that last time. Well, now
Wait,
this.
Mako?
Bolin.
Bolin.
Again, trying to cheer him on to metal bend once again, but he tries
And
again, and all the
All
doors
the doors
open.
open except for
He
this.
metal bended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Bolin.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yep. So here walks around the corner.
And he's like, look, I'm going to let you guys go, but you have to deliver a message for me.
Yep.
What's the message? We'll find out later.
We cut back to the desert. They finally finish the sand glider as the Cephadrome Tiger Zamtrios returns.
Yep. And they get attacked and everything, and even there's that scene where they get almost inside the thing's mouth, and
Yeah.
Korra's just like, fire!
Big
You know why that
firebender.
happened, right? It's because that one dude's like, yeah, we're gonna make it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you just
Yeah,
jinxed it,
he's
dude.
like, way to go, dude.
But
And then
unfortunately,
they
managed
like
to
their sand thing is destroyed and everything, and they slide in to a bunch of sand raiders. It's
Yeah,
like
to the Oasis.
wanna practically partially used
Sand speeder, whatever the hell sand speeder
Right.
comes out.
My
Yeah.
wife pointed out, like, can Korra not sandbend?
So who was sandbending? Someone was.
No, she
Korra.
was using air.
Yeah, Korra was used. Well,
She was using air.
Pretty sure that's what Aang was doing when he was doing it back then too, though.
Right, but
Maybe it's more
Well,
practical
no,
than
but I
sandbending.
mean-
It makes you curious then, is sandbending its own form of earthbending? Similar like, is that a foggy swamp like
yeah,
offset?
yeah.
That's
I feel
similar
like
to the
They're
Pleiades?
earthbenders.
You know, I
Definitely.
feel like sandbending is just like a mix of earth and air.
Yeah, it's like mud.
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah, just like when
Yeah.
when like Toph and Katara had the mud fight where they were both like doing the bending the mud together. Like probably something like that.
But, like, you never
Airbender
see-
could do it like just making a small tornado, but a sandbender could just use the sand to do the same thing. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
yeah, it's probably one of those
I feel like
hybrid
we would have
things.
seen like sandbending is something you don't see a lot of guys do.
'Cause
The
there's
most
not
you
a lot,
the most you really see is back in the premiere of season 2 that one general does that to Katara.
Oh, the quicksand? That
Yeah.
Boomy did that too.
Dude, he's right. Boomy does it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So you really don't see earthbenders make like
It's-
sand.
It's a very succinct way
Are
to
you
kill.
talking about that? Like it was like the first episode of season 2, I think. Where
Yeah.
where the Earth General or whatever is like trying to force Aang into the Avatar state.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
god, that episode pissed me the fuck off.
Oh yeah,
Like,
You don't do that shit to Katara. You just don't.
But
Okay.
that's another great aspect of earthbending. You can just turn solid rock or stone into sand as well.
But
Quicksand.
then you also Toph does the opposite. If you remember in the
Yeah, she
library, she
solidifying
solidifies it to
Yeah,
get
because
that
you can't
foothold.
see in the sand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with all of that, the guys are like, the general guy's like, hey, look, whatever you did to the Earth Queen, it's definitely above my pay cut. One guy's like, wait, is that a dragon?
Yep, we
that
see a
I'm
big
old at?
old dragon.
And
It's
we all know,
Zuko's.
yeah, Zuko's dragon.
Just
It's
as
like,
Naga jumps on Korra and everyone's happy.
Yep,
They all
everyone's-
head to the
Wait,
bar.
now, first off, a few things. One, that captain had a hook hand that we just
Oh,
see
yeah,
at the
yeah, he
very
finally
end.
reveals.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
does he just see this now?
He had his hand behind his back the whole scene. That
yeah,
episode was
he
really
did,
funny.
yeah. So
Also, it was Naga jumped on Mako,
No.
and Bolin saw Pabu, and it's like, oh, hey, Pabu, you know, whatever. Like, wait, Pabu?
but that doesn't happen yet.
First, we see Naga jump Korra, and then they go inside to the town, and that's when they see Mako and Bolin too.
No. But Mako and Bolin come later.
Oh, they're not here
They're
yet?
not,
Yeah. That's
happens-
next episode.
Yeah, that's next episode.
Oh, we're
Yeah, right now, Korra and Asami are the only ones that make
They
it.
arrive and they see
Oh,
Zuko,
time.
Tanrock, and Lin.
That's
Yep,
right,
and
I'm backwards.
that's when Tanrock says like, "Oh, we're glad to see you, but did you hear the news?"
What
And they're like,
news?
"What?"
Then the
And
radio.
Yep, then
On cue.
Cue radio once again. Everything in Ba Sing Se is in utter chaos because the Earth Queen is dead.
Contrary to popular belief, there is a war in Ba Sing Se.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank
Gotta
you.
give that to
Of
you,
course,
Bruce.
yeah.
Gotta give that to you.
Thank you.
And of
Chris
course,
wins the episode.
honestly, that
And
is the end of the
After
episode.
that, this is when we get the final end of the episode from Korra. This is only the beginning. Bum, bum, bum. And that's the end of that
And, yeah,
first
that's the end.
episode.
And
Woo.
oh
Absolutely
my
loved it.
goodness.
Seeing the Airbenders actually finally do the whole taking the breath. That's been like a theorized thing since like the first series. I'm glad they actually
right.
see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
my
was
goodness.
brutal too.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that
it's
is
crazy.
Seriously.
her face, like
Yeah,
the actual
just
shock on
seeing
it.
the actual air coming.
There are
from
some dark moments that
Oh,
get
so
overlooked for kids.
Yeah, and you want to know the worst part about it is, I mean, after I watched that episode, seeing what Zahir did, my first thought was, oh, Lord, it's only going to get darker from here, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting darker, we go to episode 11, The Ultimatum. Ba Sing Se has fallen!
Yeah.
Apparently after Zahir and his crew killed the queen, the city is now in utter chaos. You know, because anarchy.
For kids.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's just not an anarchy. It's like bad.
Yeah.
Which I
It's
don't
horrible.
understand. I mean, the leader was only killed and like the whole thing thrown into
Some
a bunch
crazy
of chaos.
revolutionary on the
I'm
radio.
surprised that the city everyone did not come together and say, you know what, life here has been so fantastic. We can all rise above this terrible tragedy.
Oh, God.
Because
There's actual looting going around, and there's like rubble and
Fire.
buildings and fire and buildings are
One of
destroyed
my-
everywhere.
one of the things I didn't get to mention in the previous episode, one of my favorite parts, a bunch of guys run up to a guard. We're stealing things. You can't stop us. The guard's like, what are you talking about? I'm going to join you. I know where the good stuff is.
That's this episode. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Wow.
But what are all these looters plan on doing with this? What are they going to do? Go over to the shop and sell it? Yeah, because A, that shop has money. B, that shop's going to give you the money. And C, the shop isn't on fire already.
Yeah, of
and has
course,
everything already
everybody's-
stolen from it.
Yeah, well,
Where are they going to
And-
go? What are you going to
black
do with
market
this?
sales, tiny
But-
towns. Like,
But
Yeah, I was
how are you
just-
going to get out of Ba Sing Se? There's like a
the walls
desert
are
around
destroyed
you.
now. Well, is it a desert? I thought it was regular. It's like regular
It's
mountains.
deserty.
It's like mountains.
Mountainy
Remember
and
they
deserty.
walked with the baby to they had back when Aang was
Oh,
walking
that's
there?
Serpent's Pass, though.
Yeah, but that's to Ba Sing Se.
It's still not an easy trek.
It's not an easy trek, but yeah, it's like
You're gonna die before you get anywhere. So there's gonna be a massive
they're
stuff.
stealing blimps and stuff too.
And then
that one makes sense.
Yeah, and then after finding out, I mean, pretty much the last it is like the last time Korra and Asami escaped. They met with Tanrock, and of course now we focus on Zahir freeing Bolin and Mako.
Yep.
And if they are gonna find Korra and Asami in time.
Yeah, this is when the bros, seeing all the crazy looting and get that funny scene with the guard, the bros decided they need an airship, and they try to like hold off some looters, but like they're unable to.
Mako fails. But then Bolin's just like, hey guys, Queen's treasure's on the 3rd floor. And then they all leave.
Yeah,
gold.
And this is when,
Queen's gold.
Bolin says, I know how to fly a ship, not really, but I'll figure it out. How hard could it be? And this is when they start like almost killing people.
Hit the up button!
Yeah.
I don't see an up button! Oh, here it is.
So great. As they fly, we see the city on fire, and he says, what about our family? We gotta take care of them. And he's like, we don't have time, but fine, let's do it.
Yep.
They drop down and save them, go to the grandmother. The grandmother refuses to leave.
Like she is heavy on refusing. Like
the whole family's there.
Even Bolin like gives a heartfelt speech, and she's just like, no, I'm not leaving, even though literally the door behind him is on fire.
All right, come on, Grandma, just puts it over her shoulder.
Just picks her up. And of all the things, the grandmother, bless her heart, one thing she wants other than her family to be safe is the picture of the Earth Queen.
Yep, good. I think that picture is hilarious. She grabs off the wall and they drag her out. Mako doesn't know where the family's going to live now, as they're all loaded onto the airship and like, okay, you're gonna figure this out. But first things first, we gotta deduce where Korra is on this map.
Yep. And then they try to backtrack, trace the steps.
Yep, they go through the desert, and we see the whole family looking out the windows for hours and hours. Everyone's getting tired, even the little kids. It's a really funny scene.
Right, and then it's like, hey, there's the wreckage.
Yep.
Oh, wow. So, where are they? I don't know, but there's tracks.
Yeah, and they arrive at the oasis.
I love how the one dude, as they were flying over, was just like, I could have handled it by myself, but I mean, thanks, I guess.
Yep, that voice actor, Greg Sipes. Once again.
Wait, what?
Greg Sipes.
Beast Boy's voice actor and the one who follows the podcast on Twitter.
Hi.
Hope you're listening. Yo.
Hey, and guess what? We got your name right this time.
Yeah, I got it right this time. But this is when they finally arrive at the oasis.
And of course, this is one of my favorite parts too, because Bolin's like, all right, guys, we don't know where Korra is, and we're gonna have to split up and search for her. Pabu jumps onto her, and is like, oh yeah, Pabu, we're gonna need your help. And Pabu starts
Pabu's
like cuddling and kissing him, and the grandma's like, what is he doing with that rat? And why is he kissing the rat?
Yeah, they're discussing that's hilarious. But finally, we're getting some group photos for the podcast right now.
Is that actually a selfie stick?
Yeah, it sure is.
Oh no!
Get a good picture of that.
Now
for the
these
podcast?
things don't exist in the Avatar world just yet because they haven't invented phones. But I mean, Asami is
Well, they have telephones. They just don't have cellular.
They literally just recently invented cars. Well, they got a long way to go.
Oh, they have movies.
They have movers.
Oh yeah.
That's how we had to watch Nut Sky Warrior. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Excuse you, Nuktuk, hero
of the South.
Yes.
No, this is a sequel, Nut Sky Warrior.
Anyway.
That was what he wanted to make when he had the glider or whatever.
This is the finale season 2.
Yeah, it is.
I can see the new film now.
Yeah.
Nut Sky Warrior. Which I will watch.
Finally, Asami and Korra meet up with Bolin and Mako. Mako gives an awkward hug and is very apologetic to Korra. It's a very funny scene.
And then we finally figure out what the message is.
Oh no, wait, for that we see the adult gang, which is Tanrock, Lin, and Zuko. Bolin freaks out at Zuko, which is a very cool scene.
Yes. Zuko. And look, Mako's is like, look, we're sorry, but we are honored to see you.
Now is when we're just like, yes, Pabu, we're going to help you. Pabu!
Yeah.
Why is he hugging that rat?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's kissing that giant rat.
That's a great. Also, this is when the grandmother assumes that Asami is the avatar. It's like, oh, you're so beautiful, and then it's like actually Korra, and she's like, oh, you're so muscular for a woman.
And Korra's just like, thanks, you too. and then best awkward moment ever. Oh, these two are lovely ladies. Mako, why aren't you dating someone like these two?
Yeah,
and everyone's just like,
Yeah,
I totally didn't date both of them.
yeah, one of horrible boyfriend and ditched both of them, cheated on both of them with the other one. This is when we see Mako tells Korra about Zahir's message that he will wipe out the Air Nation unless she turns herself in.
Yep, going to the Northern Air Temple, and obviously everyone is devastated.
Yep, this is when Korra runs to Radio Tenzin so that they can return.
Do they get to the metal?
this one,
they
They found out
Zafu?
that
Zafu.
they found out that the radio that they have doesn't have long range, but Zafu has something like that.
Yep.
So they start heading to Zafu.
Zafu, man, they're ahead of the times. Who knows what crazy
They
things
are
they're gonna
wonderful
show.
and they are right, and I hope that they take over the world. Now let's get to the next line.
Right here, Matt. Right here.
I was gonna say, like,
You hope they'll take over the
I can't-
world?
Yes.
I don't know, man. Just spouting out random
I
stuff.
can't imagine what kind of crazy things they might come up with someday.
Yeah.
People from there.
Yeah, who knows? Sue
I have no
is-
idea what they're talking about.
They're trying to radio Tenzin. Sue says that no one's answering there, and this is when Sue says she's worried about Opal, who's also there training.
And then Korra's like, all right, so this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to the spirit world and see if I can find Zahir because I know where he goes.
Yep, Sue is going to ready some airships and metal guards to go there and help fight.
And Mako and Bolin are gonna keep trying for Air Temple Island.
Yep, keep
And
trying that
Grandma's,
radio.
and
Northern
Grandma's
Air Temple.
going to go take a nap.
Yes, that is very important.
You go, girl. In the spirit world, Korra's just running around screaming, Zahir, come out, Zahir. But
And then she gets
meets
visited by best boy 10 out of 10.
Iroh. He's looking for a teapot, he says, but he offers Korra some advice, as he always does. That's incredibly helpful. And this is when he hints about talking to Zuko, like the old Avatar did, because he was so close with Aang.
Yep, because that's when we also get a reminder that Korra can't talk to her past lives anymore.
Yep, I know, no connection to Rava, which is going to be, who knows what that'll be important later. But
She has a connection with Rava, but it's the problem is
That's
all of
later.
her past lives are dead.
Anyway.
This is when
I don't know
Zuko,
that
she
part.
finds Zuko and sees that he's preparing to leave because he needs to protect his daughter because of Zahir's plan to kill all world leaders.
Yep. Which, by the way, I mean, I knew Zuko wasn't the Fire Lord, but when he's like, yeah, I have to protect my daughter, and then Korra goes, yeah, you have to protect the Fire Lord, I'm just like, really?
They said it
You're
before.
right.
Have they?
Yeah.
I must have missed that earlier then.
I think Iroh Jr. said, I have to protect my mother, my mother's the Fire Lord. At some point.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
By the way, has
Yeah.
anyone noticed, I don't know if it's been mentioned before, Zuko's hair is grown out like the way Iroh's was?
Yeah.
Is he Fire Nation style?
Yeah, he's got the
Is
Fire
that First,
Nation-
is that First Nation?
Yeah, and also people
A
pointed
lot of
out
Fire
that
Nations have
that Boomy's hair is cut the exact same way as a Fire Nation thing. because
Yeah,
it's in the Royal
that's
Army.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
feel like I said that before, too.
You probably did say that. I think,
You
yeah.
probably did.
No, no,
Somebody
no,
heard,
no, no,
I heard it. Anyway, it's my idea now. So,
Matt's just like, I made this.
yeah. This is when she asks him, what would Aang do in this situation? And he said, well, he would sacrifice everything to save airbenders, but he also would want to save everyone. So
So he would sacrifice himself.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself.
Non-answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, like that, which is a very Aang thing to do. Like, Aang, goddammit, make a decision.
But yeah, and then of course after all that, we actually get Mako's like we actually got through, and we get Milo being a butthead like always.
Actually, just before that,
Oh, yeah?
we have Korra mention Iroh to Zuko, and he's like, "Oh, you talked to my uncle." And it's
Oh
a
yeah,
very,
that's right.
very
Because
sad
he was
look on
just
his
like
face.
looking like what?
yeah, that's my dog. I was like, "Oh."
Right, then Mako's
Yep.
all like, "Oh, we got through,"
Yeah.
and of course we hear Milo being the butthead, being like, "Who is this? Oh, I told you, this is Bolin. Bolin's not here right now." It's like, no. And then of course Korra's just like, "I'm done with this.
Like, yeah.
You get your commanding officer right now."
No,
yes, sir.
No, she said, Milo, this is your commanding officer. Get your dad.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Yes,
Fine.
sir.
Yeah.
I don't recall her having that much influence over Milo, though.
I think he's like authority because he's a weird, crazy
Well, yeah,
person.
because
He's a weird little bad boy.
yeah,
He is crazy.
ever since they were training the airbenders, he was like drill sergeant.
Yeah, he like that kind of dude. He's cool as heck.
All right.
Yeah. Tenzin arrives on the call, but just as Korra is warning him of Zahir, he tells her Zahir's here now.
Ooh, there's a weird sentence to say. Zahir's here now.
yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, wow, what are the odds that the second that she talks to Tenzin
finally
where
get
him,
through.
he shows up.
Yeah, I know,
Also,
right?
what a coincidence! It was only the four of them on that ship, right?
Someone's flying. It has to be because, like,
I literally
in
asked
a minute,
like,
in a minute, someone's
that.
flying it. Well, they
No,
mentioned.
there were some extra guards there. Well, I mean, like later in the episode, we see like actual like other guards who are like keeping track of the airbenders, right?
Yeah, they mentioned.
No,
they mentioned later that there are some other people in the next couple of episodes. But yeah, someone had to be flying it because they're all three of them are on the air temple, and then
please
leading out the door. So, someone's dragging it around.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Airship.
Wait, what are you talking about? They've invented autopilot. Just kidding. No, they haven't.
Yeah,
It was just circling, so it could have been easily.
Maybe, but before that, we see Boomy is told to gather all of the students, and Kai is told to get some more of them.
And then,
But Kazan lava bends and stops them because he's the best.
Yes, he is.
He's the best, you say.
Kaya is meditating when Boomy runs in and says, "Oh, we gotta get out of here.
We gotta go."
But Minghua arrives, grabs Opal as a hostage, and is holding her against the
I'll
wall.
kill her if you do not do as we say.
Yeah, and this one, Zahir gets Tenzin and his whole family cornered.
And he's like, and of course, Zahir, being the man that he is like, hey, do what we say and you'll all live.
Yep.
Would
Yeah,
I
okay.
lie?
The Red Lotus gather all the airbenders in the temple in one place and tell them to wait for Korra.
And of course, Tenzin's like, not gonna happen. And then starts beating the crap out of them.
Yeah,
with,
blows them all away.
with Kaya and Boomy, of course.
And
Well, Tenzin was a beast at this point.
Oh
Because
my goodness,
he's
yeah, he was.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he says, well, this Jinora is told to move everyone while Kaya and Boomy try to fight Minghua and Gazan.
Yep.
Yes.
And Zahir, because Zahir's there too.
No, Zahir's fighting Tenzin.
Oh, yeah, right, because they separate.
Yeah.
And this is when we get to the thing with Plea being on the airship that's being flown.
Yeah, because he's like, don't be in her line of sight.
Yeah, Jinora's just like she's just beaming down, sniping them all out of the air because she's like insanely awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, who do we cut to first?
Kai and Jinora are trapped with the others trying to cross a bridge with
All right,
Plea.
with the bison.
Yeah, and then we see Tenzin being besting Zahir in a airbending fight, which is pretty cool. That's
That was-
climb up the temple.
Oh my goodness.
That was something you're only gonna see like once every ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
once
airbenders.
ever. Yeah.
That was awesome. Because Zahir at this point had only been like overpowering everybody because no one knows about it.
Yeah, no one knows how to fight airbending. But yeah.
Something I noticed too was the way they jumped. You could tell like ancient versus I guess modern-ish because like Tenzin always spun when he was jumping a bunch. He was always like kind of rotating. But Zahir was just regular kind of jumping.
Like Mario Bros jumping.
Yeah, like he really was.
Pretty much, yeah.
I suppose the robes that he wears probably help Tenzin a lot with his airbending because he's much more flowy with them.
Fair.
Yeah,
Very,
fair,
very cool
fair.
fight.
And you saw it too, because Zahir was very structured and rigid, and you could tell was untrained despite being somehow a master.
Yeah,
I think he just studied the styles, and when he had the airbending, it was just like a simple.
Yeah, because Kaya does mention earlier, like he knows a lot.
He already
about
studied
airbending.
that crazy,
Yeah.
How
13 years of prison can do something to a man. You know?
But he could have just even if you never had earthbending before, you could do like the
basics.
Hungar martial arts style, and eventually if you got earthbending, you'd be like, okay, well, this is the same thing.
He was doing a completely different style because again, he's very rigid and
He probably
punchy.
studying
whereas,
Guru Lahima's style from thousands of years ago, possibly.
But Tenzin, I mean, like literally, one of his moves is when he dodges and fires back. Like that was something that you don't see from almost any other style. Waterbending's the closest I get to that.
Yeah, well, they're the closest thing in similarity in like how they work water, but yeah. Kaya is fighting Minghua, spinning. She's like doing some crazy like spinning blades thing, which is really cool. She keeps dodging them. She goes full octopus mode as she like gets thrown from the building, and like Minghua is just ready to go. This is a really cool scene, but she beats Kaya back eventually.
Yep. Which I wrote down my notes. I said disappointing for Katara's daughter to be so like I get
Minghua like beyond a master.
She's beyond a master.
They said like all four of the Red Lotus could take down any master, but when they're together, they can take down whole nations. That's like, yeah.
Which I get, but like it didn't even feel like it was close at points.
Right, yeah. I mean, you'd like to think, being Katara's daughter, that Kai would at least put up more of a fight.
I don't think Kaya's like a master waterbender.
Well, and then there was that part in her life where she did like go and try to find herself.
Yeah, I was also gonna say like, well, her airbending style compared to like the two brothers Noatak and Tanrock from last season.
Airbending style.
Yeah, the airbending style. The waterbending style of the two, of Korra's dad and the chief, they were like, their waterbending fight was like really intense, but like totally different than anything we've seen Kaya do, because they're like constantly freezing stuff and making like solid, almost earthbending like objects, but then also like sliding and skating and all kinds of stuff that we don't see Kaya really doing when she's doing her stuff. But I guess technically they were always surrounded by tons of water and like in a water setting.
But she never at any point I think feels like she's like a really strong waterbender.
Mm-hmm.
She loses every fight that I can think of.
I want to say that it feels to me like she was more aggressively trained in the healing aspect of waterbending rather than fighting. I mean, like Katara was very good at both, but I feel like maybe because she wasn't like as focused in combat, that maybe that's why she wasn't quite as good of a fighter against a really OP
murderer.
A literal murderer.
I was gonna say also the fact that she was like really hippie. She could be like a pacifist or something more like Aang, where she's like even more than Tenzin doesn't want to fight.
Oh yeah,
that could also be an aspect of it.
That is true.
And if you think about it too, you're right. I like what Chris is thinking because she also, if she go on a journey, Katara probably would have let her go and probably told her, "Here's how you heal really well, so you stay safe." And also, like Katara had to learn basically because they were at war.
Yeah.
Whereas Kaya probably didn't grow up inside of war. Bumi grew up in more war than Kaya.
Yeah, but also like when we see like Minghua took down Eska and Desna and a bunch of other waterbending guards to free Pli, she literally just like slaps them against the wall, freezing it, and they're done. She's like taking out tons of waterbending masters, so the fact that Kaya lasts as long as she did is still pretty impressive.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say earlier, like I wouldn't say that like Kaya didn't put up much of a fight. Like she put up a hell of a fight, but like I mean, she was just no match for Minghua.
Yeah.
And speaking of no match, Bumi was fighting
crushed by Ghazan.
Yeah. I mean, novice airbender, beyond master
Lava bender.
Do you want my notes for that? Bumi first guy's on. Lol. LOL.
This was really cool, but then eventually, but funny, a very clever thing that's never really like spoken out or like like blatantly expositioned out is that Bumi gets close to Ghazan. That's his and then literally Ghazan can't bend lava anymore because if he does, he'll hurt himself.
Oh, snap.
Bumi literally grabs him and is like physically like punch fighting him and like physically keeping close to him, and I'm like, oh yeah, in like an RPG or something like that, that'd be like the obvious strategy because he can't lava bend around himself or at himself. So yeah,
Bumi
Bumi
catch that?
Yeah,
that's
clever.
crazy smart.
Yeah, it's funny. Bumi's like literally grabbing him like on his back, and he bites him. He's like pulling his hair, and I'm just like, oh, I guess Ghazan can't do anything. Like, yeah, it's very full on and lava bending.
That is impressive. I never thought about that, and that
It's
makes
very
me
cool.
appreciate
I never
Bumi
thought
more.
about that too.
Yeah, but he's eventually tossed away, and the siblings are like, but this is too much for us.
Yep. And then Kai's just like, you know what?
Against Pli.
I'm gonna distract her.
Yep.
You guys get to the bison, and of course Junora's like, no, don't, I love you.
Yep.
And Kai's just like, don't worry, babe, I'll be all right.
Takes off his
Spoilers.
Put on sunglasses.
Spoilers. He's not all right.
And he gets to the carbon dioxide.
I love you. I know.
He flies off on the glider, and of course, Pli's just like laser beaming him out of the sky.
Yeah, and it does not work.
Yep, she notices. She shoots a beam right at the bison stables, and they all just flee. And she's like trying to fight. She almost shoots everyone while they're on the bridge, but this one he flies right in front of her and knocks her away. And she just explodes the mountain harmlessly. It's a very, very cool fight.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was impressive for Kai. He's another great character.
Yeah,
He really is. I like his progression.
Yeah, but finally he is shot and blasted out of the air.
And he dies.
Yep,
he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead forever. Bumi and Kaya are knocked from the temple and are almost like dying from hanging off of a branch.
And of course, Kaya's like, let go. And Bumi's like, we'll die if we fall. She's like, we'll die if we're here.
Yep. They let go just as Pli shoots from the ship and they fall to safety, but
They're done.
They fall, but they live. Tenzin is still beating Zahir in a fight, a straight up fight. It's really, really cool.
Oh man, the ending of that fight was so good.
It
I
really
just have a new level of respect for Tenzin.
Yeah.
God, just the amount of beating he took and how he held his own against all three of them.
Yeah,
no less.
Please shooting him out of the sky.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just... And honestly, the moment Zahir's just like, give up, and Tenzin's just like, as long as I still have breath, I'm like, Tenzin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tenzin, yes.
Absolutely.
Love him.
But then we get a nice brutal beating of Tenzin within an inch of his life.
Yeah.
For kids! that was hard. Like
They were just
when
like,
they kind of
dude,
Yeah, when they did the pan
away.
yeah.
Like you can only imagine because you saw them like
beating him. Yeah.
beating him. And you saw what they did to everyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously. And speaking of within an inch of their life, we see a hanging upside down dead body of Kai for kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
wait
he's
a minute.
alive.
Yeah,
He's perfectly
wait a minute.
fine. A baby bison comes up and saves him, and the episode ends.
Yep.
I like to believe that it was Blueberry Spicehead.
Yeah, right. Me too.
You find out who it was later on.
He names them kind of, but like, yeah, that was a really good
Oh,
episode.
did they actually?
Yeah,
I think his name's, like, Lefty
he does,
or something?
yeah, it's Lefty.
Yeah, they get
That was
okay.
a different one. His
Okay, but I just
I
remember.
like David Temple.
But I just remember, as I was watching the episode, I'm just like, I really hope that's Blueberry Spicehead because that is the best name.
It is.
I mean, it could have been, and he just changed the name.
Yeah,
Like,
who knows?
Same.
he wasn't around then. I don't think.
Blueberry Spicehead that was during the Tenzin's tour with the family. I don't know. I can't remember David Temple. But yeah,
Vacation Tenzin.
No, because Kai helped with the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
right.
okay,
That was
okay,
during the
yeah.
Wait, no, that was
Vacation
the episode
Tenzin.
where,
Sibling
Right.
rivalry.
Yeah.
Nora and Mila are making fun of Iki, and then she runs away.
That's
runs
right.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, I
don't
like
know which
Chris's
temple it was,
theory.
but yeah.
I'm gonna agree with Chris. That was Blueberry Spicehead.
Of
He went
course.
all the way.
It's all
up.
the canon.
You know what? You know what? Now,
Canon-wise.
if it's not canon, it is now. Lefty is Blueberry Spicehead.
That's right,
Yeah.
creators of Avatar and Korra. We just canonized your stuff.
Yeah, totally.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
But yeah, I absolutely love all of the Red Lotus, and they are so goddamn
Oh my
strong.
god! Like when I
I
found
also
out
think
that
kids losing is really sad though.
when I found out there was an opposite to the White Lotus, I'm just like, go on.
Yeah.
Then I heard like it's Zahir and his crew are like some of the members. I'm just like, I like this. I like this a lot.
I'm very much okay with the Red Lotus because the White Lotus and Korra are
Worthless.
worthless.
Yeah, they're
I'm sad
pretty
I was
bad.
not there during the escapes because once again, just time and time again, they were worthless.
Yeah.
Completely worthless.
Yeah.
And I get that these guys are strong, but what has the White Lotus done?
Hey, remember
beaten
like
up
a
by
few
the
years ago?
people?
Remember a few years ago when King Boomy, Iroh, and a few other guys were part of the White
that
Lotus?
firebender
When they
guy?
actually were, I don't know, good.
Well, that's because they had like actual standards apparently.
But wait,
that's
didn't
like-
the White Lotus actually like provide like safety and support for Korra at like certain points in the story? Because I feel like that they were mentioned before. Like
That's
she
what
was
they-
like protected by guards, like
That's
actual guards.
That's who raised her. Yeah, those people who like first found her when she was a kid, and then they were also guarding all. They technically helped take down the Red Lotus in the past 13 years ago, and they were guarding them, even though every single one of those guards were taken out by like one member. But but still, like they're pretty competent. And
They used to be, but in Korra they do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally are all getting destroyed by Amon and his literal group of chi blockers. Like,
Right.
okay, I get it, but you're supposed to be like the super guardians of the world. How is it that every superpower is pointless? Like the White Lotus, the whatever army they're called. I can't think of the name off the top of my
from
head.
which one? From the north?
Or Iroh? No, the
Oh, the United
Yes, United Forces.
They were
yeah.
really bad.
United Forces did nothing.
They
The
lost
White
to
Lotus
Amon's
did
people too.
nothing.
Yeah.
Except for Iroh. Iroh was good.
Yeah, I mean, these people need structure. I agree with you. And these people need structure, a strong, sturdy, beautifully molded hand that will bring everyone together. But that's for another time.
Oh no!
My head.
Oh, no.
I still have no idea what you're getting at, but
Totally not referring to season 4 at all, right?
Who
What are you
knows?
talking about, Chris? No.
Anyway, there's a
Anyway.
really cool art that I want to point out in this episode.
Guys.
But besides that point,
guys, this is probably the darkest episode
This is the
because
best.
this is the one where we all enter the void.
Enter the Hey, you didn't give me a chance to say it at the same time. You're ruining our flow.
Oh,
Episode 12.
We're not doing any mid banter.
That was the mid
That was
banter.
the mid banter.
Oh, okay.
Talking about the Red Lotus sucking and
Yeah,
how great the
that
Red
was
Lotus
the
are.
mid banter.
Wait, Red Lotus.
The White Lotus sucking.
I
The
was
Red
gonna
Lotus
say,
are good.
yeah.
Yeah, because the Red Lotus are just they're just so freaking overpowered. It's
They're
ridiculous.
absolutely beasts.
Like
Yep.
all of those, what we said, those four. I mean, literally, how do you take them down?
Yeah.
They literally cover each
I
other's
have no idea how they
weakness.
did in the past because the people fighting them now can't deal with them. So,
Right.
Which it makes Sokka just that much more impressive.
yeah, I
Indeed.
wish he was around still. He would have helped with Varric. I can imagine what they could do.
Imagine what would have happened if Sokka was still around.
And he was
Yeah.
working with Varric.
That'd be
In
good.
general, he's-
In general,
Well,
yeah,
look,
you're right.
look
You're
what
right.
happens to Republic City when he's gone. The literal government collapses and has to get reformed.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
absolutely horrible.
there you go. Republic City was only held together by Sokka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sokka-
Renko sucks.
Oh
President
my-
Renko
oh,
is bad.
Oh,
Lord,
could
does
he
he
ever?
But
But now let's get
Time
back
for us
to
to enter
episode
the
12.
void. What's the last time, sir?
Well, first off, the new Air Nation is in jeopardy. Pretty much talks about how Zahir ambushed them ambushed them so that Korra would surrender, and Tenzin, Bumi, and Kaya tried to stop them. And aside from two other people, Tenzin did a good job, but they all failed. So now Korra and Team Avatar have to race to the temple, hoping to mount a rescue.
Yep, and Sue's airship is flying in, and they are making plans. Lin says that any direct assault plea would just stop them with her super powerful
Yeah, with her
laser
Sparky
beam.
Boom powers.
Yep, but Sue says that Lin's plan of sneaking behind would just have Gazan melt the mountain and kill them that way.
Pretty much.
That's what I was saying. They could literally cover out just those two people alone, plus dead on. I'm sure Minghua and Zahir would be able to take you out.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, but don't worry, guys. Bolin has best plan.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna disguise as a hiker, and when they find him and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's gonna impress them with his bird calls.
Bowman, never change.
That's great. That's when a saddened Korra says the only plan is to turn herself in.
Yep. And then of course, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna let them know. I'm gonna give them a call.
Yep, all to save the airbenders and keep balance. She says, she leaves to radio Zahir. He answers and says that they have a deal. She has given directions to go to Lahima Point, I believe, or Lahima's West, or Peak.
It was Lahima's Peak. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and then, of course, isn't this when we actually get to see Zahir and what he's doing?
No, we see Bolin pacing back and forth, and Mako's just like, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Mako's like, these plans are horrible. It's like, well, I don't see you trying anything.
Yep, Naga and Pabu are back at Zaofu with Grandma.
I'll say I'd watch that sitcom.
That's very funny.
I would too. No, bad rat thing and giant dog. Aww.
Tonrock asks,
No.
Spectacular. I wish he was talking. That'd be great.
That would be amazing.
Tonrock wants to know what the deal is. He says that Lahima Peak, that's when he says that the airbenders will be at the temple and they will exchange when they see each other. Sue has a plan to split and hide the numbers because they don't know about her forces coming as well.
Right.
Half will go to the temple and half will go to the peak.
Well, I thought most of them went to
the
the peak.
half the Team Avatar is going to go to the temple and half is going to go to the peak. And then the entire army forces are going to go to with Korra.
This is when we actually see...
Actually, all of Team Avatar, save for Korra, went to the temple. Because Asami was there.
Asami was with Mako and Bolin?
Yeah.
It
was 3-1.
Yeah.
Tonrock and the adults were.
Yes.
Nice.
Then we get to Zahir.
My favorite. This is one of my favorite scenes in the series, honestly.
Same here. And we hear him meditating, saying, and I actually wrote this down, let go your earthly tether, enter the void, empty and become wind.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
And then Plee walks in. There's this scene, I'll tell you though, there's no symbolism or representation of any kind of concepts going on.
Yeah, there is.
What are you talking about? No. There's no way him saying, release your earthly tether, and Plee walking in have any connection.
Nah, it's just random. Don't worry
about it. I was going to say. And then we learned that,
that Zahir rescued her from a warlord who she was using her as a tool. That's a cool backstory. I'd love to see that.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I've said a lot of things in the show. Like, Bolin and Desna, still best couple. Don't care who you are.
Desna remember Bolin.
But honestly, Plee and Zahir,
they're
really have
legit,
a good...
might be my favorite couple.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, if they were good guys, holy crap, they would be a power couple. They still are, but...
I mean, they're quite literally a power couple.
Yeah, they're incredibly powerful.
And just remember, guys, if you're gonna find yourself a girl, find yourself a really tall, muscular girl.
Yeah,
that can shoot fire with her mind.
Oh yeah, that's a must.
Yes. Hey, that just means she's really good with her brain.
Yeah, but then he says... I don't know anything about it. Zahir says that he thought about her every single day when he was in prison, and this is when they have a long, big, sloppy, lovey, cute kiss.
Yeah,
a
like
sloppy
I said,
kiss, you say.
It's not really sloppy, but yeah.
I mean, her kiss is probably big and sloppy.
Yeah.
But she's also massive.
Oh no!
But
Lynn tells Mako the plan, and she hugs all the team. Or wait, does she tell Korra the plan?
Yeah, Korra's getting ready to go on the peak, and it's just like...
Because she hugs all of Team Avatar goodbye, like, oh, here's your hug for you.
Yeah, all the metal benders and her dad hang down, which... I forget. He had like a little thing because he can't metal bend.
He just he pretty much just jumps up, I think, or something like that.
Well, actually, no. I think he was using water bending.
Probably. He would have had to keep up with them.
Right.
But yeah, Tonrock and her hug, and they leave. Lin and the gang are going to scale the peak. The brothers see the destroyed temple and search for the airbenders. This is when Gazan appears.
He's like, hey, they're in here. get in here now.
Yep, just as Korra meets Plea and Zahir on top of the peak.
Yep, and Zahir's just like, look, throw down your sack, throw down your staff, get over here. This is not negotiable.
You've got to mention, too, that Korra's like, because they said, be careful. And she's like, oh, I'll be all right. You know what? Someone who says that? Someone who's not about to be all right. That's who says I'll be all right.
Did we not learn from that one guy in the sand on the sand slider? Where he's like, we're gonna make it. Raw.
But yeah, the brothers see the knocked out Tenzin, just as Korra's just like, all right, I'm here, let everyone go. But he's like, no, you disarm and you come over here. And then we'll let
everyone is hooded and in the back and tied up and struggling.
Dude, it looks pretty freaking
yeah, really, they play chicken because, Korra's just, a mile away and saying, I'm here, now let him go. And it's just like, no.
You come over here.
Yeah. He picks up his phone and says, kill them. And she's like, all right. He puts on his stuff and goes over. And he's like, all right, don't kill them.
Good thing, guys, I didn't do anything after that.
And then even Korra gets, chained up and Please just don't even try the metal bendies. They're platinum.
Yeah.
And then as she's getting ready to go onto the airship.
Actually, on that point, so Zahir very clearly said wipe them out on his radio, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't recall ever hearing him say belay that order.
No, he does. He does. After Korra says, all right, she puts her stuff down, and then he goes, stand down.
Yeah, but I would.
Oh, okay.
It's very short, but
I was hoping for a cut to them saying oh, do the thing, and it's like, oh no. But it's just that scene. It's a really long pause. I'm like, oh my god, you could kill him in that time period.
Right, yeah, and then I even had to watch it a second time, and he actually just stand down.
Yeah, but as we cut back to the brothers awaking Tenzin, and we see he's muffling what does he say? Come on, get the other hostages. And it's revealed they're all ice, I assume, puppets.
No, water puppets. The way they moved, that was not ice.
Yeah,
they would have been too stiff.
Yeah,
that's why she did it. Also, that wasn't terrifying at all to watch all these
people melt.
Literally melt. Oh,
that was crazy.
Nor did you see how many of them were there?
Yeah,
there were at least 20 of them, and Mingwan was controlling all of them at once.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Individually,
and they looked like they were all. They said individual.
Yes.
Like Chris said, they're all individually moving.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You thought she could literally control with 8 fucking octopus arms with water, but she can control up to at least 20 of them.
Yeah, it's insane.
Jesus Christ!
I'm curious too. If you think about it, those clothes should have been soaking wet, so they.
I think they would have been ice or something like that.
This lady is fucking OP as fuck.
Yeah, she is. And Mako's like, the planet's messed up. Everyone, go.
I'm curious now. I wonder, were they ice, but
slushy or snow?
They were gelatin.
I was thinking they're ice, and then when she wants to move them, she defreezes them, allows them to move, and then refreezes it.
She could, but yeah, it was like a
we don't know the details, but yeah.
I think we just spent the next hour talking about how that was done, because I could.
I have to. I personally feel like it was maybe not freezing the entire way, but maybe the outer layer of them were frozen, just so that the clothes didn't appear to be super moist.
Yeah, makes
sense.
sense.
Although, okay, God damn it.
Moist.
Gross.
Damn it, Ed.
Moist.
We get it.
But you could also make the argument that well, she's a waterbender, so she could absolutely prevent the water from soaking into the fabric.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Minute control, but she could.
Keep on forgetting. Moist.
That's why the water drive's bad, to make everything moist. Anyway.
Waterbending!
Mako tells the team everyone's ready to fight. This is when everyone jumps out, all the metal guards. Plea takes on the Beifong sisters and the metal guards. Zahir beats the bound Korra in a fight. It's really cool.
Right,
and then taking her to the ship.
And meanwhile, back at the temple, we get Gazan versus Bolin with Minghua versus Mako. Oh my goodness, some of these scenes were spectacular, especially Mako versus Minghua, especially when they get into the basement part.
Oh yeah, it's cool. But I was going to say, Tanrock also helps on the Korra when she's getting sent onto the airship. He actually helps fight, and he seemingly is almost knocked off, I think, but he comes back. It's a really cool fight. But yeah, Minghua fought and finally tells Gazan to just destroy everything. Hell yeah. And he does.
Yeah, and he does.
He sure does.
They free Tenzin, but the lava is spreading. They start to bore through the mountain as Gazan's lava just keeps flowing and creeping in towards them.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's later when they actually get more fighting in.
Yeah, the gang re-enters some underground routes, but the lava just keeps following right behind them and constantly just like flowing. I was like, God, there's so much lava. The lava is so great.
I think when he was moving away, if you saw, he like collapsed the
he
doorway.
went outside and started like melting like the whole building.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think we cut back to
Team A was Zahir he's holding Korra and her dad off. He sends Tonrock over the edge, says, "Say hello to the Earth Queen for me." I wrote that down. I was like, damn.
And then Tonrock is dead for good.
Yeah.
He was. There's another fight that shows he is really strong.
He
Heck, almost beat Unalak, except for instead of waterbending still, he tried to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, he does really well against Zahir again, who's shown himself to be extremely competent.
And then of course we get Lin and Sue fighting Plea.
They're trying to draw her fire out. She says, "I love you, sister." She runs out as Lin's ready to sacrifice herself so Sue can escape.
Well, you guys might have mentioned Plea's bending face, where she has like the creepy
crazy
eyes.
Like the crazy eyes, just like
just super strong.
I was like, I saw that, like, ooh.
Dude, first time I saw her do that, I was just like,
I was like, yeah, I like
you
I was about to say, I touched myself. How about you guys? Chris?
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
You saw her face?
Did I hear you say touch yourself?
Yes.
No, did you touch? Yeah, I touched myself. Did you touch yourself?
When you see
no.
Hey. Just because Matt, you and I are into crazy ladies doesn't mean everyone is.
I keep up with the table. Sorry, guys.
But guys, hey.
So this is what.
So we're bringing all the silliness before this really important scene.
Very
important scene.
Seeing as though you like her face, wouldn't it be a shame if we had to cover that face? Well, that's what Sue does. She takes literally chest armor.
Her armor throws it just while she's about to beam Lin.
And then it literally goes all like right around her face, and you hear the explosion.
Yeah.
She literally explodes her own face.
Yeah, she literally.
Her entire head implodes.
Yeah,
for kids.
Yeah, I know. It's an insane.
Yeah, and then of course Zahir's just like
we see Zahir like completely torn,
destroyed. And dude, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I know she was a bad guy, god damn!
I love Plea. She's great. Yeah. And then to go out in such a horrible way, but it's really cool. But it's like,
dude,
that's rough. Also, so Sue just murdered her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's killed. Sue was a criminal. So
let's be honest. Yeah, even though technically Plea did just
kill people.
No, combust at the wrong time. Yeah, Sue killed her.
Yeah.
It was all Sue's fault. Sue's a murderer. Wow. Metal Tribe.
I wonder if this proved that Sue's father was Sokka, because Sokka also was able to take out a combustion bender.
Oh, you're right. Could be.
That's interesting. I've never actually thought of that.
Yeah, Sokka's the only other person.
Are they half sisters, right? They're half sisters.
They're half sisters.
Yeah, we never explained who they were. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
But
anyway.
Yeah, Zahir is horrified, and then he takes out Korra and is getting within the airship to leave, or he stops taking out Korra. He stops getting on the airship.
Tom already cut
the airship, but he's flying away, and this is when he enters the void and becomes a wind and just flies away.
Yeah, like literally, we're not talking like firebenders who is like, hey, look at this, I can jet myself. Yeah. No, like he's not using air at all. He literally like just falls and he is the wind. He is super light.
He's
like a
Superman.
Superhero. Yeah, like a superhero.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're like talking like
DBZ
or Superman or he's flying.
Yeah, just steady floating.
Even Sue and Lin are just like, I'm sorry. Did we just get beat up hard? What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And even Gazan's like,
not yet. They're like miles away.
Yeah, everyone just like so. Apparently,
I thought he flew past them.
This is when he first flies, but then we see Tonrock is being saved by some lovely female guard on the mountain. Who knows who that is?
Yeah, right.
But this when we cut back to who knows? We'll cut back to
Bolin
Bolin breaking the group out of the side of a mountain while the lava continues to flow towards them.
I was gonna say though, like. When he suddenly was able to fly and all that, it's like all that symbolism with Plea was foreshadowing something. That whole scene where they kissed and he's literally talking about entering the void and then connecting with her. It's always as if there was some kind of weird symbolism there, right?
You know what I would have loved? I would have loved to them to like reference Guru Patik and Aang not giving up Katara, who was dying in Ba Sing Se, to like enter the true Avatar state or whatever it was. I would have loved like some more like symbology or connection to that scene, because like it feels like that's the same thing that he was asking Aang to do, was to not like don't care about Katara, even though you love her. Stay here because she's on the Avatar
so what you're saying is if Aang did actually go through Guru Patik's training, he would have been able to fly?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Because he had a
maybe
connection
not.
to this. Because even and again, I forget her name, but the previous air avatar before Aang, she mentions like, yeah, you're a good airbender, but the Avatar has to be connected to the world because they are a part of it and a major player.
You're talking
into
about
it.
the airbender before him?
Yeah,
I think
Yang Chen or something like that?
I think so. We had said it before. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
but she kind of mentions it like. As the Avatar, it's not something you can do. You can't detach yourself from the world like that.
Yeah, even if you are a monk who's like taught to be like that, you have to stop doing that to be the Avatar.
Yeah,
right.
Being the Avatar is more important than being an airbender.
Oh yeah, and this is when we see Bolin and the gang bring out to the side of the mountain. The lava keeps coming, and Bolin Lava Bend!
Lava Bender, bitches!
Hell yeah!
He is the best.
Hell yeah, he holds the lava back, and actually everyone's like, whoa, you're a lava bender, just as Kai and the baby bison arrive. They fly off as the temple melts into lava.
Yep.
Like hundreds of centuries are just gone.
That's how powerful lava benders are.
You know,
everybody?
you know what's going to stop that lava bending?
What?
A bloodbender.
No.
How can you lava bend if you can't bend at all?
Why would I get close enough to water? Lava
Wait,
your
hey,
face.
what
Lava
do
your
you-
feet. Get that out of here, my face.
What are you talking about? Because if a bloodbender goes to blood a lava bender, an airbender would just suck the air right out of that bloodbender.
Well, if the airbender was anywhere in that entire mountain that was melted, they'd be dead. So whatever,
By the way,
man.
by the way, we did totally skip the Mako versus Minghua scene because this is when they escape. When we see
that scene.
Minghua with literally like octopus times 12.
Is that here or is that
That's
the next
later
episode?
on.
No. That we passed that completely because
I
we're
mean,
almost
it
to
was-
the end of the episode.
The fight between Gazan and Bolin and Mako and Mingwa was really, really quick, though.
Yeah,
It was not
that-
that
this is
major.
a quick-
We had another major fight
Yeah,
later.
you're
No,
right. That
no,
does ha-
the
that does happen.
The
That
fight
does
where
happen
Mako
later.
takes out Ming-Hua is not until the next episode.
Yep. I'm. See, this is what the series does to me. I get so excited. I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, but the cut back to Tanrock being bandaged up on the mountain as this wonderful, lovely guard turns to him and says, "Oh, I'm the Captain Kuvira."
What's that? That's
I don't know.
right, nobody.
Hey. Look, I may have stolen your shtick with the 4 kids, but don't steal my thing.
What? I've been
Who's
telling
Kuvira? I don't know this lady.
I've been telling
Read that part which says Kuvira.
Lava bending Bolin, yeah.
Yas, Yas,
Two lines
Slay
down.
King. Go off.
Days
dude.
X Oogie?
No, one up.
I'm just being a butthead right now. Yeah,
I literally wrote Kuvira. Probably nobody.
it's legit. It's just like Kuvira, probably nobody.
Well, eagle-eared listeners will know that throughout this season, this particular captain has appeared several times.
Yep, I was gonna say,
including when
yeah,
they first got to Zalfu, whenever they dealt with Sue, she was always there. When they were dealing with the traders, she was there.
every single time.
She's been there the entire season.
See, I was wondering. At first you were talking about that. You would always. I had noticed her, but every single time we did like previous episodes, you'd always be like, "Keep your eye on this person. Keep your eye on this person."
Yeah.
And in this part, it's like, "Hey, you can just call me a Kuvira." I'm just like, "Oh, odd zoom in on your face. You're important."
Who knows? But this is when the group hears Bolin's bird calls on the top of Lahima Peak. He's here. They talk about Bolin being a lava bender and everyone's happy.
Even Sue's just like, "Yeah, see, I knew you were good for greatness."
But Zahir, they talk about Zahir having taken Korra and interrupted by Kai. Over Kai's like, "Hey, I have an idea." Everyone's like, "Shut up. What do we do about Zahir?" Kai's like, "I have an idea." And everyone's like, "Shut up, kid." Finally, he tells them he knows where the airbenders are.
Well, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah, literally, Mako's just like, "Why didn't you say something sooner?" He's just like, "Ugh."
Yep, they are in a cave nearby with even more Red Lotus guards.
Yep.
And that is where Zahir went. Finally, Oogie arrives to carry the group.
Deus Ex Oogie, just
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
And of course, Kuvira wants to join, but they say, no, you stay here. We're going to go on ahead.
And she's just like, "Okay."
Yep, Mako and Kai make up about him being a little thief, but he says, "Hey man, I was really shitty, it's fine."
Yeah, I love it because it's just like, "Hey, sorry I gave you a hard time. Yeah, I probably deserved it. Yeah, you did."
I was like, he literally stranded them in Ba Sing Se with no money, no identification, in the lower ring. Like, they're lucky to survive because it easily could have been murdered.
Well,
and no
it's a
one
good
would
thing
know.
they've had prior experience to that stuff.
Yeah, they grew up on the streets. He was very, very fortunate. Yeah, they would have been screwed. That was terrible.
But still,
it would have. Yeah, it would have been bad. Yeah,
the lower ring was even worse in this season than it was in the original Avatar.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is saying something because that was full of refugees because of the Fire Nation taking over the Earth Kingdom.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is when we see Zahir float meditating and explaining he has entered the void because of Plea's death. He has no longer ties to this world.
Oh, because I gotta say this. Because he found true freedom, which means he lost his girlfriend and he's now single, ladies!
He's
on the market.
Yes.
Well, except
he's probably more than where, like, if he starts dating again, he loses his flight.
Right? I was gonna say he is on the market, except he's not because he's just like she was the only one. Now nobody's good enough for me because I can fly now.
I mean, listen, you're talking about making a connection to somebody. I'm just saying, you want a nice little fling. He can sure fly through you.
Oh, jeez.
Hey-oh.
Anyway, we cut back to Korra in a crystal cave. She awakes and thinks that her dad is dead. She's like, "You killed my dad. What are you doing?"
Yeah, but by the way, do you see the symbolism of this? What? As we're explaining, I'll get to that after we're done with this episode. So yeah, she's in a crystal room, and of course Zahir's like, "Yeah, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna force you into the Avatar state, and then we're gonna kill you in the Avatar state.
Yeah.
No more Avatar. Bring in the poison."
The poison, and this is when they begin bending it out of the thing. Like, now I don't know if I'm gonna say it now or later, but this poison is, I'm not saying what it technically is, but it is metallic looking, and the person moving it is definitely doing waterbending style, which is very cool.
Yes.
But yeah,
And then
I actually asked about that because it's is it earth or water bending?
It's
it feels like it's both.
Anyway,
the way that I'll say that's when the episode ends.
Yeah,
but
that's when the
episode discussion, what the poison is, I guess if you could just say specifically, it is mercury.
Yeah.
So it is definitely metal bending, but the motions that the person is doing are explicitly water bending. I like paying attention to the actual movements of the person doing it. They were doing water bending like gestures to metal bend this liquid mercury.
Yeah, which is really weird.
Now
it's really cool.
Now here's the thing I was gonna say. Symbolism, especially for those who've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. Mm-hmm. They're gonna kill the Avatar, making her go into the Avatar state in a green crystal room.
Yeah, just how
that's exactly how Azula did it.
Successfully.
I'm just like, right. But I'm just like, huh. I know it's a very small detail, but this is actually very interesting.
It's cyclical. It works in cycles.
Right.
The interesting thing, though, is that even though it's the crystal room, it's still like called and specifically an air nomad like area. Like there's a lot of I believe there's ideology of air nomads and everything.
Yeah, but wasn't the other one was under Ba Sing Se, right?
Yeah, it was one of the it was in like the old cities.
Right. Yeah, it was like the old like catacombs or something like that.
So it makes me kind of wonder like what was the civilization like before all this? Because you see these crystals and these underground cities and everything. So. That's its own like
mystery,
yeah. Like I mean, we saw the older before. We've seen the industrial, we've seen like the old kind of style. But I'm curious about the ancient.
We see in the comics, you see like feudal, straight up like feudal samurai Japan small tribes, firebenders. When the first Fire Nation was first founded, and the first Fire Lord, it's like literally like samurai and like huts and like straight up old school Japan looking. It's really, really cool.
Oh, you're talking about the Avatar: The Last Airbender comics?
Yeah. The Shadow Smoke one.
Yeah, for a moment I was about to cover my ears. No.
Yeah, you see the first Fire Lord, and it's just like he's just like like a samurai who's just like I'm gonna join everyone together, and it's just like oh no.
Yes, it is.
It's really dope.
It really was.
But yeah, it's like that's even primitive compared to the Last Airbender's time. It's like way longer ago.
Well, what then that makes me think about the Western Air Temple because it's built under like in a little cavern underground-ish.
The Western one's the Fire Nation one.
Yes.
Yeah, that one is so bizarre. I love the way, but it's based on something real. I think I heard that.
Sure.
It looks so cool. Yeah,
it's so weird, but like that's very similar, to that ancient style.
Yeah.
Almost because again, it's super different from what everything else is. The Eastern is, it's so run down. We don't get to see it as deep as the North and South, which are very similar. Again,
and the North one's destroyed now.
Oh yeah, the North one's gone. That's just gone.
Oof, because that's so powerful. They're all really great though. I love the Red. We're going to talk about the mid episode to talk about the Red Lotus, but like they are all so powerful. And the Plea's death was like when I saw that back in the day, I was like devastated.
That was rough.
I was shocked too. As soon as it went around her head, I literally was like, I'm pretty sure back in the day, like I gasped. I was like, holy, oh my god, that's brutal.
Dude, brutal. Earth Queen's death. Please death. Dude, a lot of, like, the deaths. Dude, even season 1, like, all of the bloodbending that was happening. Dude, even I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, but if you think that stuff's all super sad, wait till you see this episode.
Oh yeah. Let's actually get to it. The final episode of season 3.
Episode 13. Venom of the White Lotus.
Lotus.
I don't know, my notes for some reason. And the White Lotus is evil. Spoilers, everyone.
I mean, to be fair, what have they done? That's good.
They might as well be evil. No, yeah, Venom of the White Lotus. What happened last time?
Wait, I thought it was Venom of the Red Lotus?
Red Lotus.
Venom of the Red Lotus.
I know I said it twice.
Okay.
I want it to be the White Lotus, damn it.
I don't know why you messed it up.
In my notes, that's what it says. That's what it's gonna be.
You said wait, and I thought you were better than that.
Whatever, this is your lead. You take the lead. What happened last time?
Well, the Red Lotus has captured the Avatar.
No.
Talks about how Korra wants to turn herself in and then got double-crossed. And of course, as all this fighting was going on, Plee dies.
Yeah.
And then Zahir learns how to fly. And Bolin can lava bend.
Woo.
So after all of that, will Team Avatar be able to save the Air Nation and Korra before it's too late?
Yeah, in the caves, Korra is struggling against her bindings, and we finally learned... Oh, this is what... You said the plan last time, but this is when we finally learned the actual plan.
Yeah.
Force her into the Avatar state with this poison and kill her while she's in that state. Leaving the world leaderless and by killing all of the national leaders, and then the natural order of things will resume.
The natural order! For all you Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy fans out there?
Yeah.
The
Raven?
Raven and Agent of
The Raven narrator?
Do not cry!
I honestly don't recall that.
But yeah,
That show is amazing.
they are
This is-
super anarchistic and like, yeah, it's a crazy plan.
Now, here's the crazy thing about how they inject the poison in her. They literally put it around her, and they literally like push
before
it in.
that, this is what I say. Korra will be the last Avatar, and we see Janora's spirit eavesdropping on the plan. And she goes back to see all the other airbenders tied up and chained to the ground. We see Kaya and Boomy are completely beaten and like knocked out and potentially dying.
They're dying.
Yeah,
They're
they're like
100%
legit dying.
Yeah. So it's up to them to form a plan. And this is when we see them bend the poison, I wrote Mercury, in classic waterbending style, onto her limbs and into her skin. It's crazy.
Oh, dude, like honestly,
I want to
when
Google
that
mercury
happened,
poison to see what actually happens when you get mercury.
I'm sure
on
terrible.
you.
I've got to mention, by the way, you also had we saw Janora there. Deus Ex Janora 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah,
Once again.
yeah,
her
you win this
form
round.
is insanely Doug. Yeah, okay.
Now, yeah, when I saw the way they injected the poison, which may or may not be mercury,
It is mercury.
it hurt. It hurt me. Like I just look. I had to like hold my arms. I was like, ah.
Yeah, mercury is a deadly poison. That's really cool for taking temperature. But yeah.
Yes. Well, this form of it, there are two different forms of mercury. There's a safe kind that you'll find, and then there's more harmful versions.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like the liquid solid one that can like go from liquid to solid really quickly. It's really it's incredibly painful looking and it looks like horrifying.
Oh my goodness.
And I was afraid to Google actual real life mercury poisoning.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I don't want to see that.
This scene, I agree with Ben, by the way. This scene is very difficult to watch. Not just that, but everything that's happening afterwards.
I didn't look away, but at the same time, I'm like, why am I not?
Yeah, she begins to flicker in and out of the avatar state.
And meanwhile, I was like, she is ready. And even Gazen's
he
like,
says, get ready to kill her. Yeah, and then like
and Gazen's like, why is it taking so long? So here's just like, give it time.
Just get ready. Gazan melts the floor beneath her, and Mingwa ready some blades. They're ready to kill her as soon as she goes into the form. This is when we got back to the whole group. Our bison flying to this location. They land, and Tenzin is told to stay back because he's injured and too injured to fight.
Right.
While she is while Korra is suffering, she starts tripping, and Zahir appears as Aman, her uncle from last season.
Gazan turns into Unalog. He's like, you can't fight it. And, the strangest one. Zahir turns into Vatu.
Yeah. That was Ming-Hua.
It wasn't Ming-Hua.
Yeah, her hair morphs.
Yeah, it's
ring style.
You can't do it.
And then we get some classic Neon Genesis fisheye lens, Korra freaking out.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that scene, that hallucinating and seeing the villains, that was really
it's
hard to watch.
Really rough.
But that was really cool to see, again, the past villains still
relevant,
and you see them attached to her still.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was crazy.
Aang had it so easy.
Oh my god,
dude.
Aang had so much ease. It's ridiculous.
Dude, yeah, no kidding. I mean, one of the biggest things for Aang was, his entire tribe was destroyed. But Korra, She did Equalist. She had to deal with an evil uncle. All of this, and now she's getting mercury poison.
Yeah.
You glance over the fact
Yeah,
that she literally had to save the entire Earth from 10,000 years of darkness because a spirit equal to her own light spirit got free, fused with her uncle, and went Godzilla style over Republic City, where she had to again grow into a massive blue form and take him out.
Last season was ridiculous.
Hey, all we wanted to do was see her turn
anything
into
giant crazy like that ever again.
No, never again. The airbenders trick the guards and snag the keys in a very cool way. But
and
they're
immediately when
spotted.
when they get spotted, I look. It's just like, hey, what are you doing? Rock. Dude, it was like some Monty Python thing. It's just like, oh, it was all this.
Yeah, everyone gets out with the keys, but Tonrock and Janora, Mako, and Bolin are going to try to find Korra.
Yep, they're gonna try and save Korra.
Meanwhile, she's finally going into the Avatar state, but starts to take out all the Red Lotus because she's Korra.
I was just saying, what did they think? Like that it was gonna be easy to take out the Avatar in the Avatar state? Oh, that's super easy.
Hey, that's what Azula thought. But the difference is she was successful.
Yeah, she's Azula. Come on.
Well, Aang was also not as good of an Avatar. So
I know. But anyway,
so
she breaks.
I don't think Aang was actually like paying attention to Azula. Like he was doing his own fighting, and Azula just happened to like hit him at the right time.
Yeah,
right.
He had his back to her. She's like, bam.
But that was not that good of an Avatar.
But yeah, so Korra breaks free. And
oh jeez, let's cut that out.
Keep it in.
It's a good thing I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah. Finally.
But anyway,
she grabs
she
the
breaks
rope
free
and ties
and
around her arm. She starts beating everybody, kicking fire, breathing fire.
Dude, oh yeah. And then
it's very cool.
So here's just like, I'm out, and Korra's like, no, you're not. I like it because here's literally flying and Korra's just like jumping.
Fire feet.
Yeah, she does the whole I think Azula was the first person to do like the jet, like the fire jet flying stuff. Like zooms after him, really cool. That's when Mako and Bolin and the boys all show up. It's a very cool. They have a very cool.
The boys, including Lin and Sue.
Mako being like me and the boys chasing down Korra.
Yeah, the boys are going to chase him down.
It's really. And they have a really cool elemental DBZ like fight. Tenzin watches and is like reunited with his family. He's like, oh, I hope she's okay.
That area was very similar to where Aang and Ozai fought.
Yeah,
kind of,
Which also was funny because it's kind of the reverse style of it. You had the airbender being the bad guy, and someone firebending flying in this massive area.
Right.
If you think about it, this is another moment where Korra is like super powerful. Ozai, to be able to fly that well, needed the comet. Right. So Korra is literally doing that.
Just that strong.
Well,
with Mercury inside of her. Using the Avatar state.
But then again, when it comes to the whole flying thing, when Ozai needed the comet, you do know Iroh was able to do that normally too, right?
So Azula too. She flew in the upside down air temple. She was like,
she used that just to push herself to the thing.
Yeah. But
either way, we're getting off topic because this is when Gazan is like, oh yeah, it looks what happened last time we fought, and Bolin's like, oh yeah, bends his lava and goes, a lot's has changed. This is when I realized Gazan isn't really that bad of a guy. He's actually like not only enjoying this, but he's like
very nice and chill.
He's more like a mentor kind of figure because he's like, let's see what you've got.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. Besides the whole anarchy and murdering leaders, but he's a pretty cool dude.
Right. Yeah, I was like, if only these guys would be good. Kind of like the few times when I would mention Icicle Jr.
Icicle Jr.
I'm like,
be a good guy.
Just be a good guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there was a nice little non-bending tackle that he did against Bolin. Which I really liked that. And I loved their banter because it was, he wasn't worried when he saw him lava bend. He's like, oh, right, I get to actually, it felt like it was like, finally, someone able to do what I can do.
Right, yeah.
A real challenge.
Yeah, that's a really cool fight, finally.
Speaking of which, Minghua versus Mako.
Yeah, but
Mako gets knocked down into like this cave area.
Oh, well, that's in a while. That's in a while because
I'm doing it again.
Yeah. So here's Flight. It seems very OP as he's dodging all of Korra's attacks, but she recoups and gets the upper hand, freezing his leg.
Which I wrote out here. Like that was a precision water strike from like a long distance.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
But I always think back like when we first see her fight those three, the triple threat triad, which just like flings the waterbender thing back at him, just like freezes his face in a second. That's like a really cool tactic that she does really, really well. That's what Minghua does, which just like grabs people and flings them against the wall, takes them out immediately. But like Yeah, but this is when the poison kicks in her leg and she falls down into the ground and crashes.
Yep.
The gang wants to help, but Tenzin says Zahir is too strong, and Jinora is just like, wait a minute, what if there hasn't been this many airbenders together in a while?
Yeah, there hasn't been this way. Let's try a thing. It's like, okay.
Yep, they all started making a massive tornado.
Well, actually, what I was going to say was, to defeat this darkness, do what they needed to do. Use their friendship.
Yeah.
Hey, if Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy has taught us anything,
and if Sokka's taught us anything,
oh yes, in order to beat darkness, you gotta have heart.
Yeah, the power of friendship. The power of friendship.
And so Jinora and all of the airbenders start like
making a massive tornado. This is when we come
tornado.
back to Minghua and Mako's finally. He's able to dissolve all of her water by keeping the fire bending at her because they clash into steam, but he can make more fire, she can't make more water.
Right.
They finally dissolves all of her hands and knocks her back. She falls in a hole, and when he follows after her, she goes the super crazy octopus form.
Oh yeah, we're talking like Cthulhu kind of thing, which is too many tentacles.
Yeah. And this is when finally Zuko's like, oh yeah, I have the one thing that can easily... Zuko. Mako's like, oh yeah, I have the one thing that can immediately take out any waterbender, don't I?
It's not just any waterbender. It's a waterbender who literally uses water as
attached to their body.
Right.
In lieu of limbs.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We have lightning bending.
Lightning bending. What's that in Korra?
Yeah, it uses it once a season, again, and the
And
finale.
Only time.
I mean, I was tempted to believe it's just like, okay, this fight's getting just too long and crazy. Time to cheese the fight. Lightning.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it'd be even cooler. He does like the one finger like. Zzz,
Yeah,
and it'd be better if he
he
did like the Palpatine unlimited power.
Or he's like,
but seriously.
Blow out the speakers, everyone's like, whoa!
And then of course it's just like,
There's just falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
oh yeah, just.
I love that.
But still, as crazy as that was, Mako's just like, oh yeah, I have this ability, lightning zap, and she's out.
She's
dead or something. We don't know.
I'm curious if
I
she
think
died.
she might have been dead.
Well, I mean, what happens later? She's 100% dead.
Well, yeah, Kazan and Bolin are pretty even, but the brothers together manage to defeat him, and he's brings down the entire cave.
Which he has a great line too.
What I didn't write down the line. Did you get
it was like, I'm not going back to prison. If I'm going down, y'all coming with me.
Yeah,
And he just goes knucking futz and just Llama bends the entire goddamn
yeah,
camera.
it's so amazing.
I'm sorry. He does what now?
He goes knucking futz.
Sorry, you started using that like a week ago, and I like it. I don't know.
It's a great phrase.
Yeah,
I like
that's
it a
our
lot.
using it.
So
Zahir
now,
is
Ming-Hua is 100% dead now.
Oh, absolutely.
She had a chance.
Yeah, Zahir is tossing Korra around and finally starts to do the air choking technique while she's in the Avatar state, but the Airbenders super tornado finally stops him.
Yeah, you've heard of Sharknado? Well, this is Airbender-nado.
Boo. He tries to fly away.
But he tries to fly away, and to no avail.
Yeah, he keeps getting caught inside the giant tornado.
And even Korra, I think Korra uses with the chain.
Yeah, and then she pulls a Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance and just slams him down, and with the long chain.
I'm gonna say, first off, it's
really cool.
He's trying to get Korra, but eventually he's like, well, this ain't gonna work, so he drops her.
Yeah.
And that's when she grabs him by the chain. He should have died.
What, from the chain?
From the slam.
Yeah.
When he hit the ground, he went flying like
Ghost Rider did that to the devil and killed
stories.
him. He sent it to hell when he slammed him into the ground like that.
Yeah, he should have 100% been dead, or at the very least, knocked out.
Or paralyzed.
But but this is when she passes out from the poison. The Beifong sisters catch Zahir, and her father finally comforts her while she's passed out from the poison.
What? No, she's dead.
Yeah, Zahir starts laughing. He's like, yeah, I won.
But then Janora's like, wait a minute, the poison's metallic.
Yeah.
And then Susan's like, I know what I must do.
Yep,
and
so Sue does it.
Yeah, she metal bends the poison.
It's all gone. She's 100% safe.
She's safe. Korra wakes up and Zahir is pissed. But Bolin gives him stuff to sock in his mouth.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, Bolin puts a sock in it.
Yeah,
literally. He just,
Classic.
Classic Bolin, says the awkward girlfriend.
Yeah, back at Air Temple Island. Oh, this is at the end when after that they put sock in it, everyone's happy.
Oh wait, before the sock went in, Zahir did say that the revolution has only begun.
Yeah, and this is when everyone fades out, and back at Air Temple Island, the beginning of the most saddest scene I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Before we get into this, season 1 ended on a great note. I felt happy.
Oh, she got
season 2.
She got the Avatar state.
Yeah,
she can fly. Or she can airbend.
Season 2.
And
she
and
brought equality. Well, she brought peace to the world and the convergence and everything. It was all great. The first thing you see after everyone is like, hey, we're all back, is you see Asami doing Korra's hair. And then you find out she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Well, you see
I get it.
I know, right? What we see is Korra's face, and she has bags under her eyes. She looks violently depressed.
Oh my goodness!
And it is an insanely she looks incredibly sick or depressed. She's and then we see it's been 2 weeks, and she is in a wheelchair. Asami says that she looks beautiful, and she says, "Oh, you're doing great." And she just, if you want to talk, I'm always here for you. And she just has a complete blank, drained, actually needs help, depressed face. It's awful.
Dude,
it's so sad.
Look, we've said many people look defeated. Korra looks defeated.
Yeah, it's insane.
Completely.
Not gonna lie, some days #mood.
Yeah,
dude, totally is a mood. Totally #big mood.
The next couple, the next several moments, just absolutely destroyed. Even now rewatching it, destroyed me. I was tearing up again.
Oh, dude, same here.
They go outside. Everyone's like, "Hey, Korra, oh, you look great. Korra, you're doing great." She's just completely literally clinically depressed looking. Yeah, completely vacant and drained. And everyone's like, "Oh, you look so beautiful." And it's like, oh my god, this is killing me.
Dude.
Cut to her leaving, and then of course President Asshole comes back, and then the first thing he says after she leaves is, "She's not looking good."
Yeah,
what a jerk.
Yeah, dude. Even Todrock's like, "Dude, you would too." If you went
we see Milo and Iki jump on her chair, "Hey, I want to ride with you," and everyone's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, we're gonna ride up." Lynn's like, "Oh, I'll help you." And she escalators the stairs to help Korra up. And Raiko's like, "She doesn't look good." Hey, you try to go what she went through, and you look good.
And Raiko's like, "No, hold on." Yeah. And this is the one time he's still an asshole, but he does have a very good point with this one. He's like, "Yeah, but here's the thing: we don't have the Avatar, and we don't know how many more Red Lotuses there are.
Also, the Earth Nation is in chaos."
Yep.
By the way, I gotta quote Leanne here when he's like, "Oh, the world needs the Avatar now." And my wife was like, "Oh, so now you want the Avatar?"
Yeah,
but it's beneficial to you and your own.
Yeah.
You don't want her. Oh, you're gonna send her away, but now you want her. Okay.
Well, it's funny because the first thing he says to her is just "Hey, I want to officially welcome you back." I'm like.
She's just like, and I'm just like, "Oh God, Jesus Christ!"
I'm just like, you freaking suck, Raiko.
Oh God. This is when we see inside the temple, Jinora in a hood is standing next to Tenzin, who's giving a speech about Jinora becoming a master and everything's going to be great, and Korra sacrificed so much for them, and everyone's going to be happy, and it's going to be great, and we're going to fix the world. And this is when we see the Air Nation is going to become nomadic once again. They're going to travel the world and help everyone they can.
And we finally see it.
Yeah.
After 1-2 episodes in season 3. We see Jinora take off her hood, and she's got her tattoos.
Yeah, she's got her tattoos, and she hugs Tenzin, and it's a very sweet scene.
I teared up when they took that hood off.
I was like, no, I cheered up. I was really happy about that. But then the very next thing, we cut to a close-up of Korra's sad defense, and she just see a single tear fall down, but she still looks completely blank. And that is when when I originally saw it, I will say I'm pretty sure I bursted into tears. So and then it just the worst thing ever. Oh my God!
And just so you know, that one picture of Korra's face zoomed in and stuff like that with that tear. That's where the episode ends.
Yeah, that's where the season ends.
That's where the Yeah, there you go. Yeah. More specific.
Everyone had to sit on that for a while.
It's such a jar because
it's
seeing
so
her get
insane.
Seeing Jinora take off the hood and she's got the master tattoos, and the music is inspirational.
And it's really,
it's just so great, and you're so happy and everything.
And then you're reminded.
I'm up, and then you cut to Korra, I'm like, oh God!
Now,
it's absolutely crazy how bad she looks. It's so sad.
I don't know, Ed, if you listened to the episode when I say this, but wow, season 3, the guy who's never seen any of Legend of Korra. Season 3. I can see now why season 2 was the weakest of all of the seasons. Oh my goodness. And for it to end on such a bittersweet... I'm lucky. I'm actually luckier than these 3 right here because unlike these 3 where they had to sit for an entire year.
No, it wasn't a year. It was years.
Long. Yeah, it was
either way, they had to wait until season 4 came out to sit on that.
Yeah,
to sit on that scene.
I don't think you're I think it's bad for you because that was such a horrible punch.
I literally, because we record 2 episodes at a time. I literally was like, oh, my notes are done. That hurt. Well, on to season 4.
Yeah, you lucky ass, because that was terrible. I was like, that was destroyed for like months after. I was like, oh my god, it's terrible. It's so, it's like, it was an incredibly cool thing to see a character that's been so confident and so like strong be like so horribly depressed like this. But then like that's bad seeing her in the chair and seeing her like, you know, defeated, and then going outside and all of her friends and family saying, hey, you look great, hey, you're doing wonderful. That was what killed me, because it's so like, it's so realistic for someone actually going through like a really horrible depression, for like or like a horrible accident and being like wheelchair hospitalized, and everyone saying you look great and all you're doing great, is you're gonna be wonderful. And it's like the whole situation, which is like so like hellishly horribly, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't even stand it. It was awful.
It was rough.
It was really rough. Absolutely tore me up the first time I saw it.
I gotta say this too about Korra, because, you know, for every difficulty she's faced, I 100% believe Korra is eons better of an avatar than Aang.
I agree wholeheartedly with that.
Honestly, the world is as bad as it is because Aang, honestly, kind of, to me, screwed it up at points. Like he made a few good decisions. Obviously, defeating the Fire Lord was
the main thing, because they had to end that war.
I mean, if you think about how, granted, I get that he was younger, but the amount that it took, the work he had to do just to do that one thing, Korra literally gets thrust into the world, you know, without any chance to see anything. She's in goes from like small little whatever to the world needs me, taking out equalists, you know, and that's his own thing. Then she has to literally stop 10,000 years of darkness, and massive spirits. Aang had zero, like, and then all of this with the Red Lotus, like
some super assassins trying to take out world leaders.
Aang could not even have taken them.
I don't think Aang would have been able to do anything against young Aang. Older Aang, yes, but like they were immensely more powerful than like anything we saw Aang do during his whole arc.
Aang would have he would do better than Tenzin. I do not think that he could have defeated those 4 Red Lotus. Honestly, Korra would have had a chance if she wasn't poisoned.
Yeah.
And even then, she was having difficulties at like in her late teens. And like Aang and his prime.
20s by now, I think maybe.
No, she was 21 in season 4. Because spoiler alert, we cut ahead, and they say it's 3 years. So she's 18.
Okay, yeah.
So she's 18, and she's not even at her prime yet, and she's holding it a lot better than Aang could have done in his prime.
Yeah, it's insane, and I absolutely love the season. It was so crazy.
Ed, when you mentioned that this was your favorite season, I see why.
Yeah,
I can definitely see why. There was so much good things. There were so much bad things. I mean, you know, my boy Bolin, he can now lava bend.
Oh yeah.
But dude, nothing. Like I feel like for me personally, nothing that was good now means anything because of that ending. Oh, it just it killed me.
And to touch on that point of of Korra getting thrust into this universe, can we just talk about how as Korra was thrust into this universe, she had literally zero connection to the spirit world, and Aang had at least some.
Aang was spiritual.
Aang was spiritual. He had some connection, but he wasn't. You know, he hadn't like really got into it until like I want to say partway into season 1. Where Aang actually started entering the spirit world.
Yeah, with the panda.
Yeah.
That was the first. I think his first real experience with the spirit world.
Yeah, and as Korra progresses in her journey, like suddenly she's like taking out gigantic ass motherfucking spirits.
Yeah.
And is like dealing with and interacting with spirits who are now in the real world.
Yeah, it took her almost an entire season.
Yeah.
Just for her to work on it. Like when she started focusing on it, it almost took her an entire season just to be able to do anything spirit world. And it wasn't even Tenzin, the guy that you thought was going to help bring her in. No, it was his daughter that was able to put Korra in the spirit world.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about how, I mentioned offhandedly, but Jinora looks just like Aang, which was like a pretty dull thing.
Right.
Just like between the whole horrible bittersweet Korra stuff, though, but it was like so like I couldn't even focus on that back in the day or now. And it's like, it's great, but like
I would say they did a really good job, the artist, of making her look like Aang, but she still has the feminine Jinora look, which was I thought like the balance of that has to be intense.
Yeah,
so that
was really good
fantastic.
Design. But what a great. So Ben, what did you think of this season as a whole?
Oh, as I say with every single season, where do I even start?
Yeah.
First off, as I mentioned in a previous episode, I now can understand why these guys were saying, "Hey, season 2 is actually the weakest of all of them." Mm-hmm. I can see why. I mean, if you literally in season 3, or actually in all of Korra, I'm even going to be bold and say that he might be mentioned in season 4. But if you took out everything with Unalaq and removed all of season 2, you literally could have went season 1 then season 3. Like, and it would all make sense.
But you would have had to have adjust season 1 to actually see like how do you open the portals?
Yeah,
and,
okay, you're right. There is that. But
and also, they make Unalaq slightly more like significant when they tell him that he was part of Red Lotus,
but only slightly.
Yeah.
But
he's
still,
a little bit more. Yeah, but
Zahir, also, he was a really good waterbender, so I guess it makes sense that he was with them.
And while we're on that subject, Zahir and the Red Lotus.
Oof, yeah.
I thought when I first started watching this, Matt can attest to this. I thought that what's his name? Amon. I thought Amon was, holy crap, a horrible villain kind of thing. And then these guys show up and are like, hey, we could one up him and go beyond. And they did. And the whole for kids joke that Ed kept doing. Whoa! There's so many of those death scenes.
And keep in mind too, I mean, I know that no one's actually said that here yet, but I wouldn't say like season 2 was bad, but it was like maybe like strictly by comparison, it was probably the weakest. It was season 2 where we got the whole backstory with Avatar 1, and that was significant.
Yes,
that was still the best episodes.
Yeah, in season, so far in all of it, that 2-parter it was is really good because we actually got an origin story.
Yeah.
And I would say to point out what Chris was saying, about season 2. I think I said it in the finale. You can tell where season 2, 3, and 4 are connected.
Oh yeah,
and you'll see it a lot in season 4. But season 1 is clear standalone, and like I said, Chris, season 2 isn't weak. Is comparatively 2, 3, and 4 because what it does to set up the following seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it can't exist without season 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it builds off of it. So it's not that it's a bad season, and I don't think season 2 is bad at all. Again, I agree with Chris.
Yeah.
It's that
it has issues, but like Rise of Skywalker to a less degree though. It has a lot of faults and a lot of problems you can bring up about it, but it can still be like enjoyable.
So a lot less like Guffin, at least in season 2 of Korra. Like everything flows naturally in that.
Yeah, except for the weird like Godzilla fight at the end is a little weird, but still.
That was weird, yes, but I mean we're not gonna see anything that weird again. So it's a one-time thing.
But now I pretty much gushed about it. Again, I'm not even gonna mention that ending again because we already gushed about that. Still heard about that. But now I'm going to do like I always do. I've done it in season 1, did it with season 2, I'm going to do it with season 3 now. How are they going to how are they going to do it? How are they going to one up season 3 in season 4? How? Who knows?
Yeah, I'll say that now that we're done with season 3, that 4 is my favorite.
4 is your favorite.
4 is my favorite season, yes.
Okay.
But we'll get there when we get there. But I absolutely love Zahir. Henry Rollins as the voice actor is great. He's a great singer and the great everything. But his Zahir was a great character. But I was gonna say one thing. Watching the season again so concurrently, I didn't remember how I thought we had more of the Red Lotus background and them kicking in fights and stuff, kicking butts and having fights, or more backstory of them. I would have loved that, and I thought we would have gotten more
Red Lotus stuff.
Yeah, I thought they were. Yeah, they weren't as prominent as I was hoping they were, but they were still significantly great.
I feel like though, they were used just enough where you want to know more about them without anything getting ruined.
Yeah, I'd love to see a comic about them, about their attempt before with Unalaq in the past. That'd be great.
So I want to ask a question. I know I'm not a host here, but I do want to ask a question to all of us. Of the 4 Red Lotus, who is your favorite? And this isn't just style, character-wise, lore-wise, and bending abilities. Because mine will surprise you.
All right, well, you want to go around? We'll start with Chris.
Yeah, we'll start with you, Chris.
Put you on the spot.
Oh, of course. All right, thanks, man. Oh, man. In terms of overall favorite, God,
it's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. Probably, yeah. I'm debating between Zahir and Ghazan. Yeah. Well, I mean, because I'm thinking about this, the whole goal of the Red Lotus was just to bring back what they believe was the true balance.
Yeah.
Like what they believe what they were doing was actually like for the greater good and for the good of the world, despite being or requiring a tremendous amount of chaos and destruction in order to achieve it.
Let's be honest. Yeah, I mean the Red Lotus pretty much had a nuclear option for their goals.
Listen to our Young Justice episode to get what that's reference to. It's pretty effed up.
Right? It really is.
And I mean, like, if I had to pick, I'd say probably maybe Zahir, just because like we got to get a lot more. There's a lot more screen time dedicated to him specifically, where he would be talking about like his views of the world or like him representing the Red Lotus. We don't really get to hear a whole lot of Ghazan, but just like first of all, lava bending is fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, incredibly open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he doesn't do like he does like in addition to lava bending, he does also straight up earth bending.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, but I don't think we ever see him like doing like fire bending by itself. It's only ever earth or lava.
And to be fair, like with other benders like that, like with Sue, she can metal bend just fine, but she can also earth bend like a pro too.
But
But I'm not trying to. But you're right. With something like that's a combo, like lava bending.
Well, like Plee never uses straight fire bending. Boom Man.
I'm pretty sure I was trying to think, did she ever actually just like straight up like shoot fire from her hand?
Yeah, they only ever. As I'm thinking about this, Ed, I think you might have. I think you made a good point earlier. Like it could actually be just its own. Like you have bending of the four elements, right? Well, like this could be like its own individual like not class or like genre of
branch?
Bending itself. Its own branch of bending itself. Like we never see Pali do air bending by herself. We never see Pali doing fire bending. We only ever see the combustion.
Yep.
And so I guess you could make the argument that like lava bending is an extension of earthbending specifically, not like a mixture of fire. It's just an extension or going beyond with earthbending because we never see him do firebending. It's only ever earth and lava.
Yeah, I assume it's like I said earlier in the episode, I'm certain it's a straight up genetic thing because like way back in the day, Brian and Mike said that the ability to bend at all is 50% genetic, 50% spiritual. I think that if you have a firebending relative, but you are an earthbender, you can lava bend, because that is literally exactly Bolin's situation. One of his parents was a firebender, the other was an earthbender. We don't learn Ghazan's backstory, but I'm certain that has to do with it. But like also genetic specific bending thing wise, like blood bending, like being able to do that whenever is a specific blood genetic thing that was developed by waterbenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Haman was their like great
Hama?
Hama. Sorry.
She
was their great
She can do she only did it during the moon though, so because Katara could only do it during the moon, full moon.
Fair.
But
yeah.
so
we're gonna land on.
But anyways, so Ghazan's ability to lava bend was pretty fantastic. But I guess I really liked that. I really enjoyed like a Zahir as a character, just like demonstrating like his tie to like a very like spiritual and freedom focused like mindset, and really wanting to just to strive for like true balance and equality in the world. I mean destructive and maybe arguably misguided as it was, it was still a really interesting perspective, and I admire that.
And don't forget, first time in thousands of years, he can actually fly now.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty.
That's an incredibly cool ability. Yeah.
They mentioned at one point in the beginning of the finale last episode, they just called it. He's like he unlocked an ancient form. It's like this is more mythical. There's literally only one report of any airbender
and it was
ever doing
Guru
this.
Lahima himself.
Right?
Yeah.
They call it ancient. No, that's mythical.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you're going with Zahir?
I think I'm gonna go with Zahir.
All right, now it's my turn. Well, you guys know that I'm always pro Earth, Earth all the way, Earth exclusively. My favorite member of the Red Lotus, Plee. I absolutely love Plee.
And everything earthbending that she does.
All the earthbending she does. No, but like the Sparky Boom thing, her huge. Like if you know anything about my taste, I love a large evil woman. So
hey, dude, I can see why. I mean, Larxene, she wasn't large, but she was largely evil.
She was very evil. But no, like she is so crazy good. She was like the primary threat all the time when they were ever concerned with any fight. They were always saying she can literally snipe explosion anyone at any point. She constantly has a rocket launcher with infinite ammo, and she is always on the scene. And She has a super scope and auto targeting. She can go around corners. And also, yeah, she's a freaking dope ass undercut and braid. I'm like, come on, she's great. I absolutely love Play. She's fantastic. Also, she has some really tender scenes with Zahir, which you don't get with any of the other guys specifically. We see her really open up and being nice. We get a very tiny sliver of backstory about a warlord using her to be a weapon. I'm like, that's incredible. Where did she learn combustion bending? How was she taught? Where did she get the tattoo? Like, all that stuff is so, like, high conceptly, like, insane in detail about the character that you never find out. Plea was, like, literally my favorite. She was so dope. And she was so strong. And she was, like, and also she had the best death, I think, in the entire series. She had an incredibly insane death that was really, really, like, deserved. And, like, not deserved, but, like, well, deserved. She murdered people. But, like, they're all, like, really, really cool. And she was amazing. I love that she can go around corners. But, yeah, Plea is my number one favorite because she was such a great character. And I wish she didn't get killed. But she would have been out of the series probably anyway. Then your go.
Yeah, I know. Screw you, Ed, because this is actually a really tough one. Because I agree with Chris. Zahir, he was quite like extraordinary. He had a mindset, and unlike the way he bends like airbending, he just stuck with it kind of thing, and he would go to any lengths. Plea was really good, not only because of her ability of combustion and all that stuff, but yeah, she's a tall, evil woman. and she had her moments where she was, human. Actually human. Mm-hmm. Guys, earthbender right here. So, I mean, lava bender, amazing.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, however, Minghua is my favorite. First off, I'm just gonna point the elephant in the room. She has no arms. She was born with
armless.
She was born with no arms, and so for her to even be able to do any kind of water bending at all, first off, is extraordinary. And kind of like what Ed said, she obviously has to be doing it with her mind because she can't actually do anything with her arms. She has no what is it called when you do things with your arms?
Somatic?
Somatic, yeah. She has no somatic way of doing bending like everyone else does.
Everyone else needs to, too.
Plus the fact that she doesn't just water bend like beyond a master, but she literally uses the water as an extension to her. Everyone says, bending can be an extension of your body. Yeah. She does that to a literal sense because that's how she moves around. That's how she has arms. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the other thing that wins me over is I love her jaded attitude because she's literally that one person who's just like, can we just go now? Can we just do this?
You buried them already.
Oh, and of course, her making up stories about the guards.
Yeah, very funny.
but in all seriousness, Ed has made some really good. Now, the whole argument on what is the best. I mean, obviously, I'm earthbending, and I will always poke fun at Ed for making fun of waterbending, but there are a few exceptions. Sokka, Katara, and now Minghua. I mean, oh my goodness, she's too extraordinary in my case because she was able to take a disability and turn it and turn it like outward, make it something that actually made her stronger than ever, and the fact that she can make like literally solid to liquid in like a blink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my answer actually had kind of changed during this because originally I was gonna be Zahir because I love Minghua, obviously I love waterbending,
right? Yeah,
and everything. But as a character, I feel like she's underdeveloped comparative, and I was gonna go with Zahir because I thought I enjoy everything. But over the conversation, I won't lie, and it's not just to complete everything. I'm gonna go Ghazan,
of course,
because as Chris pointed out, like Zahir was very talked a lot about his stuff, but Ghazan agreed with it all, had his own moments into it, but had such a carefree attitude about it that was really, you didn't see from anybody else. Zahir was the idealist. Minghua was the detached person just doing the job. Plea was the weapon turned human. But Ghazan was just the guy who's like, yeah, I'm along for this ride.
Chillest. Yeah,
he was chill. Lava bending in general. Again, I joke about everything with water bending or earth bending, but like lava bending is legitimately destructive.
Oh yeah.
And everything. And to see him too, like one of the things we didn't kind of discuss as much was when he and Bolin fought for that last time, it started as an earth versus earth fight. Like Ghazan didn't immediately go to lava bending until a certain point. and it was great to see him mix the two of them, and just again what he brought to what the world is bending wise, I thought was super interesting.
Oh yeah.
You know, I love what Zahir does. You know, with a lot of the things he did. But just thinking about it more for everyone else, I'm like, no, guy's on, because he's the guy who in one scene is trying to literally melt everybody, and then in another scene is joking and laughing with captives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great.
Well,
So I think we just got our picture, by the way. You got to put all of our faces now over the.
Oh yeah, lovely bits. Yeah. I'll definitely do that.
But yeah, that actually you're right. That was a very interesting outcome. We have one person who was like, I like the air guy. We have one earthbender who is like, yeah, I like the fire girl. And we have the other earth guy who blatantly out of the goodness of his heart makes fun of waterbending. Go with the waterbender. And we have the waterbender who blatantly makes fun of earthbending. Go with the earthbender.
Of course, yeah.
Interesting outcome. But no, that was an excellent question, because now we actually had to sit down and think which one we actually did like.
Oh yeah, the Red Lotus were all incredibly fantastic.
Oh yeah, like
definitely.
The least favorite of mine is still one of my favorite of
Absolutely.
all of Korra.
Yeah, they're incredibly good villains.
Oh yeah,
They were.
Oh, they're great. I'd love to get more on them in the comics someday. Those comics are still coming out. Even Last Airbender comics and Korra comics are still coming out.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting. That Last Airbender one.
There's still more stuff to tell.
There's a lot. I mean, the thing about it, Aang lived to be about 56.
Fair.
So there was another 40 years of things, plus Korra having some time. So.
Oh yeah.
This is fair. Yeah.
But yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. The season was great and amazing. We will end the episode now, guys.
All right. So we'll get to us in a little bit, Matt. But Chris, you don't really use social media or anything anymore, do you?
No, I have 0 plugs.
Okay, yeah, so, do you still have any plugs, Ed?
Yes. Unfortunately, I have not been writing as much, but you can still find me on Twitter at @edbobincheck. And there might be more stuff coming down the line, but that's still in the works.
Well, and plus, I mean, you do have now 2 children instead of 1.
Yes,
so,
2 children.
Yeah, you
I had 2 children last time we recorded as well. My one child did not suddenly asexually reproduce it.
But he wasn't in your arms or in Leanne's arms.
Was
he? Yeah, he was.
Wait, he was?
That's when we were recording? Yeah.
Definitely.
Time is something that
flat circle.
apparently time literally has no meaning to me, apparently. And speaking of no meaning,
did you?
Sorry,
time is.
You can find me on Twitter. You can still find my old reviews. I had a Bobincheck.
No, yeah, you have to tell him for the podcast.
No, he did.
I said
he did.
at
That's the
Bobincheck.
first thing he said.
Whatever.
No, that's the other stuff.
Okay.
But you still can't find my old writings at darkstation.com.
Darkstation.com.
Yeah, just search my name. You can see some of my old reviews from the last 2 years. Not coming as fast, but they're still there, so read them.
Nice.
And now, I mean, at the time of this recording, I keep saying this, but I really am working on some project. See, unlike my buddy Matt over here, who's way more experienced at recording things, and I'm not very knowledgeable in the whole recording thing. That's why it's taking me so long. But I am working on a super secret project. Hopefully, I can get Matt's help a little bit on
We'll see,
just to make sure to get it off the ground at least.
Okay.
But now for the sorry guys, but the most important one, the one with the most plugs. Matt.
I gotta do Matthew Lewis P on Twitter, Matthew Lewis Podcasts on YouTube, Matthew Lewis Podcasts on Patreon. Thanks, Ed.
Hey.
Matthew Lewis Podcasts everywhere, email and all that junk. The Forgotten Minotaur King should be still going strong at this point. Things are gonna popping off as they always are. That's all me, I think.
And I can say, first off, thank you, Chris, and thank you, Ed,
Thanks,
once again for joining us for this.
Thanks for having us.
And from all of us to you viewers here for this is the Action Toon Brothers and
Keep it sleazy. You're supposed to join in.
You're supposed to join in.
Okay, fine. I take
That's one more time then.
take 2. Fine.
Take 2. And from all of us to you,
Keep it sleazy.
What did you say, Ed?
Easy. He said easy.
Whatever. See you guys.